Howdy, folks. Welcome to Adventures in Oberon, Courts of Everest. I am Joe Treff, your DM this evening and joining me are my friends Vincent, Tina, Kara, Hannah, and Alana. Matt is not with us tonight.
Boo!
Matt, yeah, boo,
in spirit,
Matt.
I know.
Having friends and doing things.
Dumb.
The stupid friends getting married because they're in love.
Ugh,
Wait, isn't
gross.
this his brother? No.
Someone's getting married.
Yeah, it's somebody. Anyways, we are going to play D&D tonight. But before we do, we're going to yell about Matt a little bit, and then we have a couple of announcements. Those announcements are, we played Mosaic Team 5 last night. That is our original Starfinder campaign. There was a small puzzle that took place that involved quite a bit of combat. And we could see that when it re-airs at noon on Sunday at Albron RPG on YouTube. We also have a Instagram at Albron RPG. And we have a website, albronrpg.com. It has a bunch of information about the different campaigns that we run, as well as links to all of the original one-shots, which is like 14 or 15 of them at this point. We also... That's all the announcements that I have. Look at that. Nice and short tonight. And so, without any further ado, we'll play this week's session of Courts of Everest.
And he was holding daggers.
Wandering Hearts.
Oh my god, this man with daggers now.
This man with daggers. Wandering Hearts. Last we played, you stepped into the belly of the sleepless cauldron and found the top floor of this squat stone tower. It has been a week. Okay? I was in over 30 hours of meetings this week. I am dying. I had to talk a lot. The top floor of the squat stone tower appeared to be a forest wreathed in shadows. You entered, with Billy and Alina leading the way, finding a strange resistance as they passed. But you slowly made your way in, with Alina sending Rez to fly the perimeter. Rez found another imp and reported to Alina that the hags had told Rez to betray Alina and the group, and in return they would bring him home. But after receiving some reassurance from Alina that they would in fact be going to hell together,
Maybe sooner than you think.
Rez asked for some advice, and Alina said, just tell him no, which plunged you all into a combat.
When someone offers you drugs, you say no.
And Rez did. He survived the initial attack and dipped off to help fight others. Billy ran headlong into the woods, taking shots from lightning bolt after lightning bolt in doing so. Alina briefly lost sight of Billy, but managed to catch up while destroying the weak familiars the hags used to cast their spells. Valis attempted to catch up, but the hags isolated them in particular, polymorphing them into a 1 intelligence giant constrictor that actually ended up being pretty effective in all, binding one of the hags and keeping them stuck for several rounds.
Great choice.
Minka brought the form of the archer into the battlefield and leveled several mephits with shocking grasp, not really landing the arrows as much. But Cheshire remained by the entryway, using Bane to significant effect. One of the hags in particular almost failing every single save that came their way as a result. However, they were rushed by one of the hags trying to make their escape. Ori, Minka, and Snake Valis rushed in to help, and as the first hag fell and another became incapacitated, 2 strips of the forest disappeared to be replaced by what really lay beneath. And with a little bit more context and seeing the elements of the stone tower that really lay around you, recognizing that you were not passing between trees, but rather jamming yourselves through windows, you were able to navigate much more and swung the tide of battle quickly. Billy, you chased the final hag towards the end of the tower, only for her to grab a package, fall into ethereal form, and then further fall through the tower wall 40 feet to the ground, where they survived and made their way off and towards the hills beyond. Billy, Alina, Valis, and Ori all rushed down the stairs, leaving, I believe, Cheshire and Minka behind, into the hillside just in time to see the hag dwarfed in size by a much larger form, one familiar to Billy in particular. And as Aunty Dora turned this hag to dust, plucking the package from her ashes, that is where we begin this evening.
Yep, paper towels back there too.
Yes. Oh, no, they're over there.
Just exploded all over.
Oh, I see. I got it.
Okay.
While we're in
hard.
like chuckle fuck mode, I don't think our minis are in quite the right place if we're
No.
out
So
here.
the only they were just on the board from last
Oh,
time.
okay.
You guys can they're not you. So you guys wouldn't quite be on this map yet.
Okay.
And
what
so
What about Ori? Because
Ori
Ori's
would,
was
though,
way
'cause he,
ahead
like,
of us, and he
booked it.
watched that happen, right?
and recognizing that Ori is in danger, he hid very well.
Okay.
Oh,
Good job, Ori.
And you feel
Doesn't
like
sound like Ori.
you guys can. I know, right?
He asked if he saw anything that he could hide behind, and if it had anything to do with the Feywild. Weirdly, it did.
Yeah.
And he's hiding behind that single flower right there.
But for the rest of you, you are just off this map, kind of on the farthest point north. The hag that you recognize as Aunty Dora, Billy, is the one closest to me. This is a stand-in. The aunties did not arrive in time, unfortunately. But give me 1 second here.
Kind of glad to know that the big one I painted is a Aunty Dora. Why would you smile at me like that, Joe?
Because
Stop
he's
it.
a monster.
That was a...
Standing before you by about 100 feet, 120 feet or so, you can see Dora, shoulders square behind her tall form. She is swathed in stiffly pleated black fabric that falls into points at her ankles. Her skin is flawless, but you can see the texture shifts underneath. And having been within these illusions just recently, you can tell that there is some kind of an illusion at play across her face. You can see the hair is black and pulled back into a severe bun beneath the tall black witch's hat. Her face is sharply featured and haughty, and the eyes are the color of dead moss. And as she smiles at all of you, her lips crack, and you can see just these little elements of dust fall down from between them. The teeth are yellow, but sharpened. And looking at you, Billy, in particular amongst all of them, she says, "Sylvie said you tried to look like them, but I never thought you'd make yourself so hideous."
Would you mind calling odds or evens, please?
Odds.
She plucks this package up, and for those of you looking, you can see the fingers far too long. They have the right number of knuckles, but they are almost like spider's legs that just pluck this little thing. And it had taken the other hag's entire hand to really hold. This just fits on the fingertips for Dora.
Billy grips her sword and says, "Why are you here?"
"To collect the package that you've gotten for me." And she kind of holds up this little thing and shakes it. And you can hear something just kind of roll inside. Not metal, something heavy. "And now I'll leave. Thank you."
Billy screeches and starts booking forward, sword in hand.
Your legs lock. And you feel on your back this burning sensation. And she stops. And she says, "But you're not finished yet, hideous thing. You think it would be this easy. You have not known suffering yet. You will. We would have given you anything that you wanted, and you gave it all away. Even your name. You disgust me." And she turns.
Alina shoots an Eldritch Blast at her.
Okay, make an attack roll.
That tracks.
Two.
Oh! Natural 20 for one of them, and a 17 for the other.
Sure, roll damage.
For both
You
of
can
them?
see for the first one. What was the second one? Sorry.
A 17 and a natural.
17 is a miss. Natural 20 absolutely hits.
Okay. How about a little max damage, Haggy lady? So that's 25 points of force and 3 bludgeoning.
Okay. With 25 points of force and 3 bludgeoning, you throw this Eldritch Blast, and she is far, just at the range of your Eldritch Blast. I believe like only 20 feet further, she would be out of it. But you are able to strike her with one of them. The other one goes wide, and you can see it rips her back open. And as she steps, you can see almost rips in half and sand out. And the body kind of slumps, the skin becomes just straight leather, and she just begins to dissolve and fall apart.
Ew, what did I do?
And Billy, your legs release.
Billy runs forward to go see if the package is still there, because apparently that's hers.
I will follow.
You rush
follow.
forwards, and in doing so, you kind of cross the distance, no problem, and you can see already this thing, not Dora, the kind of claw, the sensation that you had seen going across the skin, an illusion to make it seem more realistic. This is like a leather mannequin almost. It looks, make a nature check.
Nature check. Oh God. Billy's not knowledgeable of.
You rush over alongside Billy. You look too. A 3.
9.
Looks pretty unnatural to both of you.
Phew.
This leather, but no problem. You go over and you can see just as you get there, the last bits of sand into the sand or into the grass, and the package. If you like, look through, make an investigation check.
I just exiled a dice.
Either do 1, 2, or help.
Yep.
18.
18.
I got a 24.
24.
Other roll is a good one.
With the 18, you rush over and you pull the sand aside, and there are little bits of bones within the sand itself, and not all of them match. There are elements that you can tell definitely are human, but others that are small, like a gnome's or a halfling's, or perhaps even a child's. But there is no blood or organs or anything like that. You don't find anything, Billy. But Alina, you see yellow as you brush elements aside, and you pull out the package or the cloth that was around it, and pulling it away, there is nothing else. You through. There is something.
There's paper.
Written by hand. There is a note kind of crumpled and attached to that yellow cloth, almost torn off when you pulled it out of the sand, but still attached and in common, very much so. And yeah, that is what you find. I would say with that, actually, 24, you also find this leather. It's not just leather. This isn't just some hag-like item that has been fashioned with makeshift thread or anything like that. It's a little bit more intricate than that. There are metal elements to the seams that hold it together. It was sand tight and held all the sand in, and now it's just kind of falling apart. It's very peculiar, and I would say the only thing that you really find on it with the 24 that would give you any hint as to what it is a small little tag of steel that is around where the head would have been bracketed in, now just kind of like a deflating balloon. And that has 3 gears on it that are overlapping. Not something that you've seen before. Yeah.
Okay, I'll just take the tag to show it around to see if anybody gets it. How big was the package? Was it like this big?
Probably about this size, like a
okay.
shoebox, a little smaller.
Did I find any jewelry in the pile of stuff?
Nothing.
That would have been cool, huh?
Oh, that would have been so dope. Okay, I'm going. Alina is gonna hand the letter to Billy.
Billy's just in the process of like kicking the sand and like slashing at it.
Okay.
She's upset.
So maybe not hand it over just yet. She'll keep it safe.
You go over and you're like, ooh, I don't know.
Bardic rage.
Gotta take a look
But
at
yeah,
A mild tantrum. It's fine.
Mild. Just green flame blades everywhere.
I think that's up to Billy. I'm sorry. When she calms down, I'm sure. Hey, Billy.
It's gonna be like a minute or two before Billy's just like,
I'll keep an eye out for danger.
Okay. Make a perception check.
Let's see.
Great guys.
6. If I don't see any danger, there isn't any danger,
by
right?
a hag. I'm
You
feeling
sense
good.
not only no
True.
danger, you sense no movement. You know, there's definitely, you are sure, Valis, that there's nothing approaching. You are safe. For the rest of you, hang on one second, we'll kind of zoom back up to the top of this tower. Minka and Cheshire.
Yeah.
The rest of the group runs down the stairs. You can hear like commotion as they do so. And you are left in this space. And then all of a sudden, maybe like 30 seconds later, the grass becomes stone and the trees disappear and you are fully within this tower.
Oh.
Recognizing that we've been dealing with some magic fuckery, I wish to loot the room, but in a way that is not going to trigger any sort of traps or...
Minka's gonna
We
cast
heard
Mind
you said in-
Detect Traps.
Okay.
We did clock the mimic last week.
Yeah,
That was downstairs.
that was downstairs.
Downstairs.
It was in the bottom right-hand corner of downstairs. It was like a chest right on the way
Oh,
in.
yes.
And it was
thank
like, why would there be a chest and a tray of weapons here?
you. Right.
But here you're casting detect traps.
Yeah, so it's find traps within 120 feet of
120
me.
feet. Okay. I know. I think it's the funniest spell. I know quite a bit about it. So
So silly. I love it.
there are traps,
I just like that you always have it prepared.
Listen,
and presumably you're kind of using it like a flashlight and just kind of like sweeping it around and looking here to see.
Yeah.
And using that ability, you do find that there are a couple of traps. Firstly, in the far right-hand corner, Alana, you noticed a barrel. And that barrel, as you like move across into that corner, there's nothing else there. There is a barrel, or perhaps the ground right around it, or the walls right around it, but definitely not the ceiling. It's really kind of located around the barrel, this trap. Pretty confident about that. And I believe if it's magic, do you get the school, or is that detect magic?
so it just reveals that the trap is present.
There you go.
I can learn the general nature of the danger posed by it, though.
Okay. So the general nature that would pose, you get the sense that opening that barrel up would probably result in you getting sort of stuck into that object. It looks like it could probably pull you in. And that seems pretty unpleasant. You go over and you can see there is a cast iron pot that is just like on the side of the ground, and there is just this gross fluid that is kind of seeped into the elements of stone. There are little dried insects and things like that within it, and this was at one point a trap. Valis found it. And then the final trap that you would find in the very, very back of this place, there is a pile of gold. And next to this pile of gold, there is a pile of what looks like just rusted metal and little scraps of iron and things like that. And almost certainly this is a trap. Outside of that, there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of magical traps that are around, and you don't really see any mechanical traps.
Okay.
You do note that like there are parts of this tower that are not in great shape, especially around those cages. The stones themselves seem kind of loose in the floors, and so that's probably a pretty dangerous place to walk.
Okay.
Um,
As Minka walks around doing this, she's just like talking to herself out loud to Cheshire to be like, "Ooh, no, don't do that. Oh, that's bad." And just pointing out where the traps are so she can loot safely.
okay.
Cheshire's acknowledging, but she's also like singing to herself.
Okay.
Still.
Make an investigation check, Cheshire.
Guidance if I'm nearby.
Sure, why not? That's a natural 20.
Sick.
So you start over, and as you look around, first of all, you wouldn't have gone near that barrel anyways, because you see just around the lip of it, there is like dried and slightly greening elements of fat. And so like almost certainly some kind of like rotting meat or something like that in there. Pretty gross. And so you wouldn't even go there. In the middle area, there's some interesting stuff. First of all, within that pot, you note that there is not just insects, there are also some humanoid elements that belonged to goblins at one point. In the area off and to the left where there are just a ton of boxes and barrels, there are quite a few things. You find 2 health potions, just standard health potions. In 2 different piles, you find 100 feet of rope. There is 30 feet worth of steel chain that you can find there. There are 3 bolts of patterned silks. There is a painting of a dark house floating across treetops. There is a missive of some kind that looks like it was written in maybe Dwarvish, and it talks about the price of bronze. There are a variety of instruments. There's nothing especially fine within this array, but there is a number of woodwind instruments here.
I'll offer them to Minka.
There was 3 bottles of pickled newts that were broken in the struggle. Somebody kind of stepped on them. There is a jar that is intact. And this jar is full of, at first, what you imagine are maybe pickled pig's feet or something. But as you swish it around a little bit and the silt clears, they're tongues. A variety of them, maybe 7 or 8 of them. And then a jar of dirt. Okay.
The dirt I will take.
Minka, you're just like pointing at the kind of spilled over pot, and you're like, don't touch that. You follow Cheshire to the back. Cheshire, there's a lot of gold back there. And Minka tells you not to touch it, but you can't help but do some quick mental math and recognize that there's approximately 700 pieces of gold on that table. And so that's a real shame.
It's disappointing.
I would say with that check, the magic is the gold. It doesn't extend over to the rust. And something about that is peculiar. And so you walk over and kind of using elements of like the other packaging around to not really put your hands on it. You poke bits of this metal aside, and there is a glint that is quite bright as you pull out a diamond that is almost certainly worth about 500 gold pieces.
Toss that to Minka too.
Right. I was gonna say. Finally.
It just holds like a chunk.
Yeah, it's like,
The only other thing over there is a dark black leather bag. And before even touching it, Minka doesn't ping this as a trap, but something about it feels very off-putting to you, and something about it's magical for sure. And as you get closer to it, it's black, and you think of it maybe as like a dyed leather or something, but you recognize it's not. It's severely necrotized, almost mummy like skin that has been stitched together using elements of hair woven into thread. And it kind of, it's disgusting to look at, but part of you kind of want to pick it up. I
Is there a bit
mean,
of cloth or something nearby that's not necrotized?
there isn't. There is those bolts of patterned silk. They're quite fine.
I'll take one of those.
Okay.
I'll pull some out.
Okay. A little length.
I'm gonna slice it off. And I'm gonna put it over.
Okay. So you can add a soul bag to your inventory. And as you touch it, there are parts of it.
I'm not picking it up. I'm
Okay.
just putting the.
Okay.
She's just hiding it.
I'm hiding it.
As you put the little cloth over it, it begins to dissolve a little bit and kind of crumble. Just a piece falls off and then kind of hits the ground. It becomes almost like sand. And you get the sense that this item is temporary. Now that the hags are gone, it is likely only going to last a certain period of time.
That's okay. It can stay covered.
Okay.
Hags are weird. I don't like this.
They're kind of nasty.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Are you looking at the hag bodies?
Sure.
We are now.
There is one in the middle, and most of them actually don't have the other one doesn't have anything on them. They had like elements of clothing. The one that is in the middle has a dark little orb looking thing, and you haven't really seen anything like this before. Part of you would imagine it's related to that bag in some way, even as you look at it, when you look at it from a certain angle, it almost disappears. Like you're looking at a color shifting marble or something like that. It's quite odd. And that's what you find.
I'm gonna go back over to the pile of boxes and bags and barrels over here.
Okay.
Is there one of those that's mostly empty?
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the mostly empty one, empty it entirely, I go very carefully, like, scoop that marble into it, tie it up, and throw it back in the pile.
Okay, no problem. Great idea. You do so. And in doing so, you actually would have to step over the body of this Goliath. And I had actually forgotten, in seeing that, you would recognize that there is just a little thing tucked into their vest. It is a small packet of seeds. Do you read Giant?
No.
Okay. There's a little bit of Giant scrawled across the piece of parchment in which they're tucked into.
Okie dokie.
But yeah,
I feel like things are in Giant just to make me mad.
it's not my fault. It's not my fault the Goliaths speak Giant. That's like
It
a thing.
comes up so often though. Like everything's in giant.
Well, you guys did a whole arc with Giants. That's kind of like, you know.
But someone in the party knows
Yeah.
Giant now.
Yeah, that's true.
True.
So,
I don't.
that is what you guys find. And at about this point, you hear Billy angrily screaming. You can hear the sound of swords like flicking through sand and leather. You hear somebody saying, maybe not right now, but you are all caught up.
The screeching kind of hasn't stopped. It's just gone through different phases.
Yeah. Rises and falls.
By now, Alina has just like taken a seat on the ground and is just like waiting it out. You know,
Yep.
You should.
she's keeping an eye on just to make sure she doesn't hurt herself. But, like, gonna let this play out.
Yeah, no problem.
And then finally, there's just like,
I'm gonna go back and check on the others. We've left them alone.
Yeah. Okay.
And-
We're fine out here.
I think Alina knows that when the starts coming out,
Yeah.
Billy's about winding down.
Yeah, and this is usually around the point where Alina goes to offer a hug and is turned down, but she'll do it anyway.
Yeah, no problem.
Do you want a hug? And then just into it.
Billy, you are hugged.
Does Minka recognize the tune Cheshire's been humming?
Make a history check at disadvantage.
I was going to say, like, there's a very rare chance, but just in case.
Also, this is some very consistent character work from someone who has
Absolutely
been humming
not.
this song for weeks.
Yeah, I'm
It's
gonna
taken like 2 weeks to get there.
6.
Never heard of it before.
Yeah.
It's, one of Cheshire's songs. Probably, it doesn't sound like Minka the Malevolent, but it could be maybe just like a B-side that you haven't heard yet.
Cheshire has sung the first verse before.
Yeah, I know. But with a 6, you have no idea. And also, Alina, I believe, was the one that really heard it the first time. But I will say, Valis, you're going back to join them?
Yeah, and I'm on the way. I want to check on little guy.
So interesting that you should say that. Make a perception check.
Ready.
I'm like gonna wriggle out of my skin right now. I'm dying to know what happened.
Perception check 15.
15, okay.
Show us the not little guy.
With the 15, you get into the first floor. You kind of push your way in. It's a little darker in here, and so you squint, your eyes adjust, and you look around, and something feels a little off, but you don't see anything off. So, not that weird. And then from somewhere in the room, you hear, Hey, you. You're like a pretty good guy, right? Like, you seem pretty much on the up and up, and I could use a friend, and long story short, do you know where a ship might be?
There aren't really any ships close. Sorry, do I see him?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I would say I'm a good guy. Who are you?
There's a brief moment where you
Also-
feel something on your shoulder. Are you doing anything?
I'll turn around as I do. I'll say, also, have you seen a dog?
From the other side of you, off, and probably somewhere off and in the room now, like a little bit further away, you can just hear, I don't really know anything about a dog, but my memory's a little spotty, so you're really asking the wrong guy. Look, I got somebody I gotta find, and I gotta get out of here right now. I think there's hags around here, so
Oh,
if you want to come with me, I can get you out of here.
I got some good news for you. Me and my band just killed the hags. And
I play drums. Sorry, I love you.
But if you want to come with us, we don't intend to stay here, and you can leave with us out of the Candlestick Forest, which is where we are right now.
Make a persuasion check.
Persuasion check, dirty 20.
Dirty 20. With a dirty 20, you suddenly are aware now, about 40 feet off and off into the right-hand side, where in fact, not too far behind them, there is a mimic. You see this little mop of brown hair lean out from the side of the stone wall. And you can see these bright blue eyes that kind of peer around and they squint at you. And then popping out, you can see this human, probably in his like late 40s. They smile and they just kind of go, "Ah, you seem like a pretty good guy. All right, yeah, no, sure. They're dead?"
Yeah. One of them by my blade.
By your blade. So you're a fighter?
Yes.
You looking to make a little money? Hey, just as a question, do you like the law? Is that a thing that you care about?
Oh my god.
Well,
Life's better when he
Who knows polymorph?
at times, most of the time, yeah. When the law serves the good.
Okay, no, you and me are on the same page. Yeah, sometimes the law really, like, a bunch of assholes, really, you know? It's a bunch of rich people who get to make all the decisions. Hey, I think that you and I would get along really well. I'm Finn Mudd, and he holds out a hand.
Valid Birch Bill.
What's his name?
Finn Mudd.
Finn Mud.
What's the last thing you remember?
So, I was on a ship. Hey, do you know the Raging Harmony?
Do I know the Raging Harmony,
Make
Joe?
a history check. At disadvantage.
Oh, that's a pretty good roll for disadvantage. History?
Yeah.
19.
The Raging Harmony. You know, you don't specifically know it, but that sure sounds like a pirate ship. I mean, there's something about that that definitely doesn't sound like a merchant vessel. It doesn't have the sound. There's no preceding letters or anything that hint towards like allegiance. And so something about that would hint in that, but you don't necessarily know that for sure. I would say you definitely have some suspicion though. And this individual would say, "Oh, okay, don't worry about it. It's okay." But really important, I remember being aboard it, and I remember a storm. And I remember we were trying to get to Petrichor. It's like a city that you can only get to during the rain, I think. I don't actually know if it's true, though. You know, this guy told me it was true, but here I am. Anyways, sorry, I lost my train of thought. What were you saying? Oh, we should get out of here. Come on.
Yeah, let's come with me.
Oh, hang on. And he jogs over. And for what it's
Wait.
worth, also.
Is he jogging towards the chest?
No.
Okay.
He's jogging away from the chest, and you can see he goes over and pulls up this bearskin rug, and he begins to kind of roll it up. And he just says, "I know a guy who will pay a lot of money for this." So Nick just kind of finishes rolling it and whoof, over again.
Nope, I'm good.
Okay. Whoof, puts this bearskin rug over his shoulder, and then, like, lugging it up, just goes, "All right, let's get out of here."
All right. Let's find the rest of my the party members,
Oh,
and then
there's
on
more
our
people?
yes. It's a bit dangerous to be in these woods alone.
Okay, but, like, are they cool?
I think they'll be just fine with you, and probably mind most of their own business.
Are you guys, like, from the Magiocracy? You don't seem like you are.
One of us
Speak
might-
from the canteen.
One of us might be, but no, we're in here.
He's the wrong person.
Asking the guy with memory issues, which one of you is
Okay. I think one of us might be, but we're not here from the Magiocracy.
Make a persuasion check. His eyes narrow immediately, and you get the sense that he is sensing your motive.
18.
With an 18, he nods a little bit, and he says, "Okay, just because when I was talking about laws before, that's what I mean. Those Stark bites, they suck, and I don't want to run afoul of them again. You know, I don't know if they have anything to do with the hags, but they were the people I was running from. So, where are we?"
We're in the Candlestick Forest. Tell you what, just come with us. We're not gonna, and let's just get out of this forest alive.
I'm not
and you
gonna
can.
what?
We're not gonna hand you over to any authorities or anything. We're just, listen. I'm a paladin, and I just want to get you out of here safe. I'm pretty sure that you were transformed into a dog and were traveling with us by the hags, and since we've killed the hags, that's probably why you're here with memory loss.
Well, I've had worse months.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, as long as you guys aren't with the Magiocracy, that's probably okay. And you aren't with Talride or any of those guys?
I don't think do I know who that is?
Make a history check at disadvantage.
Oh no. Why do I only roll well with disadvantage? This one is a 23.
With a
That's
23.
a 19 and a 20 on the die.
So, for some reason, this does bring to mind the name Talride is a pirate who was hanged probably about 2 years ago over in the Magiocracy of the Rising Storm, specifically near the Tower of Frozen Sea Foam. But he nods and just goes, all right, just because I owe that guy money too. And I mean, just gambling, like just a little, it's not a big deal. It's
Just a little guy, after all.
just a little. Anyways, where are these people?
I think there's a couple upstairs and outside, so you can come with us and lead these for us safely. If you want to go off your own, I will not stop you.
No, I mean, that sounds pretty good. I don't want to walk through here alone. Also, Candlestick Forest sounds made up. I don't know where that is. But
I don't think I have the map on me.
we back to the group who is outside.
How's Billy looking?
No. So this is like, that is all happening at once. Now we're starting again in the second segment here. Group outside.
Billy's looking bad.
Okay. Is she allowing Alina to hug her?
Yeah, there's just a
Okay.
That's what looking
So-
bad for Billy is.
Without letting go of the hug, Alina's just gonna start talking. So Alina's like, Billy, are you okay? Because I feel like maybe we can have a conversation about this once we're out of here. Okay. I feel like maybe that letter, we should think about showing it to the group. I don't know anything about Darkbriar, do you?
No.
I don't even think I know where it is.
Well, that kind of shakes Billy out of it a little bit. It's like, isn't that where we're going?
Is it?
Isn't-
Does Alina remember? Anna doesn't remember.
As I told you, I can't tell you what Alina remembers, but I would say that Alina probably remembers that, yes, you're going in the direction of Darkbriar, around where Minka lives.
That's where... Okay.
Check your quest catalog.
Everybody go back, hit the back button for 15 seconds. Okay. I don't know anything about Darkbriar. I've never been there before.
Amazing gameplay.
Strats.
It's good.
We got this, guys.
But Minka probably does. She can help us.
Yeah.
But that means we're going to have to show everybody the letter, and I think we should.
Didn't Ori mention his sister?
Yeah.
Wasn't she with an Ambersworn?
I think so. See, we should show everybody. There's stuff on here. And who is EA? See, we need the group to look at this. Who's Portina? Do you know a Portina? She sounds mean.
Poor Tina.
Oh no.
I don't like that. Apparently, any Ambersworn can be swayed by this EA's signet.
The thing I like less is that apparently someone was planning on having the disciple, the auntie's disciple. Is that supposed to be you?
Is that supposed to be me?
Insight
Or is it
check
kind
on
of
yourself?
Billy makes decisions.
Make an insight check.
Okay. Make an insight check on a letter that the aunties didn't write, but hey, it's to the aunties, so maybe.
It's not a disadvantage, but the DC is real high.
I rolled a 3 on the die. No amount of modifier is going to make that better.
So you think about what this is. And you have no idea. It could. I mean, when you think about disciple, it's a word, and that's pretty much all that you could think at this moment. You're mad.
I mean, if it's not you, that means there's another person to worry about. So, do you see where I'm coming from here?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, let's just go back inside. We don't have to do anything right this second, but we should regroup at least. Do you want to do any more violence?
I probably have dulled my blade enough.
Okay.
Billy holds it up and it's like all scratched.
Yeah,
and
oh yeah, for
scratched.
sure.
It's like,
Okay.
This is gonna take a long time.
Yeah. Well,
I'm gonna get mad again.
no, don't get mad again.
Yeah, but I have to speak to
This
someone.
has become a walk and talk.
Oh shit! I had a question and then I wanted to do a bit.
No worries. But you guys walk into the door and you see, like, about to start up the stairs, Valis and just some dude who at this point is just kind of like, anyways, the Candlestick Forest sounds made up. I have no idea where I am.
I have a dull blade and I know how to use
He
it.
turns and just goes, and kind of slinks behind Valis. And in your ear, he just goes, I can pay you really well if you kill all of them.
Alina's gonna like put
They're
a
with
hand.
me.
Alina's gonna put a hand on
You
Billy's
all really well to
shoulder.
protect me is what I mean. He stands behind me and just goes, hi, I'm Finn Mudd. And he goes and like holds a hand out. And I mean, you see this gentleman.
Little guy.
This is little guy?
I mean, I'm pretty
I believe-
average height.
Oh my god.
5'10's average.
Your
Oh,
name is
if you
Finn
hear the
Mudd?
term little
Yeah,
guy, that's
3
what we
N's.
called the dog that you used to be. Or was
Dude, you were a
polymorphed to.
dog.
You know you can just change that, right?
What?
Just don't mind her. She's had a bad day. Dude.
Yeah.
And Alina's like, she's like studying his features, trying to figure out it. Like, does she, like, she's looking, she's like, oh my god, do his eyes look like little guy's eyes? Like, is his armor the same? Like, it's like seeing a dog.
Does the
walk
armor
on
look the
hind
same?
legs.
Without any kind of check, you spend enough time around little guy to see that the armor is identical. The only thing that is missing is a potion bottle, and that's because one of you has it.
Billy
he-
like does one of these and like exits the conversation to find Minka.
Okay.
Okay, but like, dude, what do you remember before you were a dog? Because these hags, did they like turn you into a dog? Why?
Okay. Again, I don't really know. I was on a ship. Do you know anything about ships? Have you heard of the Raging Harmony?
Have I heard of the Raging Harmony?
Make a history check at disadvantage.
Those were okay numbers. History. 15.
15. No.
I just had a thought. What date do you think it is?
Pop quiz, but I don't really know.
Okay.
It's right around the rotting, I think. It's 16th, 17th.
All right.
How am I doing, guys?
What does... I'm guessing I know what the date
What's
is,
the
right?
rotting
What is the
again?
date?
The rotting is in the fall.
Yeah.
At the moment, we
And what
began
season are we
today's
in?
session on the 29th of Summertide, which
Okay.
is you're getting towards like the middle of summer.
Wait, but what year is it?
Oh shit!
What year do you remember?
1480,
What year is it, Joe?
1481.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I thought it was 1481.
It is.
I tell him.
Yeah, you've been a dog for like 11 years.
Well, no, for about a year.
A year? Wait, 80 to 91, you said?
No, so it's
Fall
81 right
80.
now. They think it's the 80. It's 80.
Oh, I'm
Fall
sorry. I thought
80
it
to
was
summer
90.
81.
Yeah.
Okay. You've been a dog for like, I'm doing so good on knowing things. You've been a dog for a while.
Yeah, that
So-
sounds like it.
The ship, though. So I've never heard of it, but I mean, I know about ships. So you were just on a ship and then boom, you were here?
No, there's a storm and there's a chase and there's cannons and things like that. But I don't remember hags.
Then why did
Who else was on
you
the ship?
think hags were around?
I don't really know. Was there a dwarf up there?
Oh, there were cages. We should go up there.
Oh,
Oh,
I think there were
shoot,
people
let's
that
go.
we need
Okay.
to save.
Yeah, I'm sure our friends are helping them.
We flash up.
Yeah.
You pull the last elements away and kind of throw them back in this big pile, getting rid of the foul items that you don't have any use for. And your attention turns to the final kind of quarter over there, the place where these stones are like crumbling and really not doing well. There are 2 cages. And I would say you can see without even getting onto the stones. You can't really see around the corner, but from the one that you can see, there is a halfling.
Okay. Are they moving?
Not a lot, but they're awake. You can see their eyes are open. They're kind of leaning against the bars. But they don't seem terribly trusting. And yeah, that's kind of all you can see.
I think we're gonna like poke her head around and be like, hey. The hags are dead. The floor doesn't look so good though.
Make a persuasion check.
I don't think I have any pluses. I'm pretty sure it's just flat. I'm pretty sure that's my dump stat. Yeah, 11.
Oh yeah, right, the mansion. So you say that, and their eyes look up at you, but at first they don't answer, and then their eyes go down, and they just say, "We've done this already before. I don't have it in me to do it again. Just go away."
Well, I'm just gonna look at the floor and assess it to see if, like, the only, like, stone shaping she has available to her right now is, like, just the cantrip of mold earth. But it can make, like, it can stabilize.
Yeah.
So can I use that to stabilize
You
the
could,
area?
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna use that to stabilize the floor and then carefully pick my way towards the cage and see if I can see the other one, or at least fully see what's down that corridor. And
You kind of peek around the corner, and you do see it's a smaller cage. And at first, you think that this corpse is so bloated that it's almost like pushing up against the bars and has become like, but it's not. And as you look a little closer, it's dwarf sized, but it's stuffed with all kinds of little bits of like hay and cloth. You can see little bits of like old vegetables poking out from the sleeves. And there's a very crude smiley face drawn onto it. This, make a sense motive check. Insight check, it's called here.
oh, much better. And that is not my dump stat.
I mean, I can't do 1 + 1 tonight, so I think sense motive versus insight is perfectly fine.
That is 22.
A 22. Ooh. With a 22. So this is poorly drawn. It is a very poorly drawn face, but from the nose and the immaculate attention paid to the scribbled on beard, this was meant to look like a dwarf, and this dwarf thinks that they are very handsome. The drawing is not great, but you recognize also this door ever so slightly ajar. This sure looks like an escape.
Okay, so it's like okay. Okay, Cheshire, there's one person here, and looks like a second person who was here. Did we see any dwarves? I don't know if we saw any dwarves.
Only the one. Poor fire code in this day and age. At about this point, there is some commotion from downstairs. This is like when the rest of the group is coming in here, and you can hear, assuming that your group is going upstairs, you can hear the rest of the party joining, and you are all back together in a single scene.
I think at this point, Nick is just gonna test the cage, see if it's locked.
Okay. The one with that stuffed kind of individual in it?
No, the one with the halfling in it.
That one is.
Okay.
You shake it. And they just kind of shake their head, and they just go, Shari, I know what you're doing. You've done this before. The face is a nice touch. But I know I'm not getting out of here.
Oh no, they're really dead. Cheshire, can you look at this lock?
Oh, careful, Minka. It's not stable over there.
I kind of stabilized it. Don't jump though.
Cheshire's going to skip.
Okay. You skip along the stones. And they hold your weight.
At what point does Billy find Minka and all this?
You guys are literally coming up right now,
Yeah.
so at whatever point you want to jump in,
Billy
you can.
exited the little guy conversation to go find Minka.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're probably a little ahead of us. Treasure will take a look at the lock.
Okay. You peer at the lock. Make an investigation check.
21.
21. It's a pretty secure lock. You would imagine that you could probably pick it. There's no trap associated with it. Minka had already done find trap anyways, and this didn't ping. It seems to be a relatively solid padlock.
That's 19.
With a 19, unfortunately, just a little too sturdy. You aren't quite able to get in, and part of it might be that this is a little bit older and a little bit corroded, but the tumblers aren't lining up the way that you imagine, and the picture in your mind is not linking up with what's happening with your hands.
Can't be done.
Is Ori in there? Because
He's hiding.
Am I
he's
there?
Really?
still hiding.
He's hiding real good. You
Oh my
imagine he's
God.
probably hiding till about 7 p.m. Friday next week.
Yeah. Well, I was hoping at least he was like eating a toffee apple or something, so we don't leave him behind
He's been,
accidentally.
No, he won't leave
observing
him on
Cheshire,
accident.
and he's trying to like catch Cheshire unawares, but Cheshire knows where Ori is. But Cheshire doesn't want Ori to know that we know where he is, because then it would spoil her fun.
Truly the most dangerous game.
Okay, we gotta get this open somehow.
Minka!
Oh, yes, we're back here. And she'll kind of trot back out and just be like, "There's one person alive."
And Minka, look. Alina's gonna take little guy by his shoulders. I'm like, this is little guy.
See,
Hey,
I told you we should have killed him.
I'm actually named Finn.
Yeah, no, it's little guy.
It's not.
Look.
I'm average.
His little armor is the same.
Okay,
Culturam, I'm actually pretty tall, so
cool. Okay. I'm glad that you are good. I'm glad we didn't leave you in that cage. Good call, Valis.
When you were a dog, we found you in a cage. Also, you want me to go try to help that person in that cage?
If you can.
Okay.
you can see he looks over and just goes, "Oh, do you need help with that? I'm kind of good at this thing."
It's locked. It's not.
I like release him, and I'm like, sure, make yourself useful.
No, I think I got it.
Okay. All right.
Is the hag? Are they dead?
No, she left. She wasn't here in the first place, but she said some mean things, and so we're.
The first one is dead, the second one isn't.
What?
Anyway, Billy's voice is noticeably hoarse.
I'm just gonna describe like what we saw
Yeah.
to the room, like not keeping anything. in
And then
particular,
Billy
but-
hands the note to Minka and says, "This mentions Darkbriar."
Oh.
And Billy probably showed it to the tree, thinking Ori was like hiding there.
Yeah.
But
So you explain what you saw to the room, and you're explaining also the sand and everything?
Yeah, just like this is what we saw, and I think. Well, does Alina like know what she was looking at? Like,
Make a history check at disadvantage.
yeah,
Um,
Some haggy bullshit.
oh, double sevens. Look at that. Not good. 8.
a sand elemental.
Yeah, it was a sand elemental. I've never seen one of those.
And at that, Finn actually says, "Oh, you probably mean the hang on one second.
Jack.
Finn freaking no.
The Heartwood Inventors Guild Leatherman over there."
Leatherman,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What?
Heartward Inventors
It
Guild?
was leather filled with sand, and it moved like a person. Heartwood Inventors Guild Leatherman.
What's the Heartward
Heartwood.
What is that?
You guys call yourselves adventurers? Have you never been to Derby?
I was raised kind of sheltered.
In Derby, there's a group, and they make these things. They're kind of hard to get if you don't know somebody, someone quiet. But they're expensive.
But what are they?
I don't really understand how they work. There was a guy I used to work with named Torch, and he did sort of the magic stuff. But it's like it can make you far away, but it's not really you.
Oh, so it's like
It's like a homunculus.
Thank you.
I don't. Bless you. But that's what that sounds like to me.
Okay. Hey, I mean, I have more questions. Like when we're kind of on our way out, I want to know, like, you know, who was on the ship with you. I want to help. Cheshire, how, is that a new song?
No,
Okay.
but there's more.
Ooh. Okay. So, I just got distracted because
I want to hear the song.
you know, you're
Let me
singing
just
kind of
take
loud.
this guy
So
Can't
okay.
be done.
Anyway, I just Finn, can we talk some more later? See, I called you Finn.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's my name.
But right now we're kind of like, okay. You said you could help with the. Okay.
So I'll go up to the halfling. I was
Okay.
like, "Hey there."
They look up, and they look now at a gathered group of people, and she says, "Well, that's more than there usually is, I guess."
The hags are dead. Can I help you get out of there?
Make a persuasion check. Make it flat.
Is that far away? Or
From where you guys are, like 20 feet.
21.
Billy like grabs a body and starts like going through it
Okay.
and not subtle about it. So maybe he's
Yeah.
really going through a body.
Yeah, no problem. And I think they
I
kind
turn
of
around.
see that.
Oh, yeah,
they
that's
see
one of
all
them.
of you, and they look up and they just go. They look over first at you, Minka, and they just go, "I'm sorry." Sorry, wrong person. That's a lot of different voices here. I'm sorry. They've done that to me so many times before.
Oh, don't worry about it.
They let you escape, but you don't really go anywhere. They like it when you suffer, you know. But you killed them.
I mean, there are definitely corpses.
Have you seen
Look,
it?
I'm wearing one of their clothes. See, I
She
took it off.
nods a little bit, and
Yeah.
her eyes squint a little bit at that, but she nods and kind of says, "Have you seen another halfling around here? My husband was captured as well."
Do we remember any other halflings?
Billy does. But for the rest of you, no, you really haven't
Oh.
seen one.
Yeah, we've.
So I say
Lot
again
of
to the
those.
group. I don't think we saw any. Did we see any?
Not that I remember.
I mean, maybe he escaped. The dwarf did. And she gestures over to the cage. It wouldn't help me, though. But maybe he got free. Could you get me out of here?
Billy
Yeah.
kind of like pokes her head around the wall.
Take my hand, and I'll get you out of the cage.
Okay. Holds out this little hand.
Face stepper out right next to me.
Right next to you. Catches themselves on the ground, almost falling, but they look around, very nervous for a second, but then gradually
You're
kind
okay.
of gather themselves, and they just go, "Thank you."
Billy pokes her head around the wall. He got free.
That's good. Do you know where he is?
He got free, if that makes.
Okay. Well, I know a little bit of tracking. I can find him. Thank you guys. I'm going to go now.
Okay.
We plan to leave. Do you know where you are?
We're in the Candlestick Forest.
Okay. We plan to also leave. You can come with us if not, or if you want to go on your own, that's
Where are you
also
going?
fine.
Darkbriar.
No, thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
When we were outside, was the fog gone?
No.
Okay.
That seems to be a feature that is manipulated by the hags to do the things that it does, but the
Oh.
fog itself, relatively natural.
It's just a foggy place.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's definitely less foggy. It isn't as thick and dense. You can see much further through it. It's lost a lot of the kind of Lost Woods-like quality to it.
It doesn't
Got
feel oppressive, it's just oppressively damp.
Just
Yeah. It's just
Yeah.
uncomfortable now.
Our skin is glowing.
It's a little raw.
What is
I,
your name?
So, it's, Amelia.
That's a pretty name.
Thank you.
That sounded creepier than I meant it.
My name is Valage Birchbellow. Hope you find safety on your way out of here.
I'm going to go to the Republic and see if maybe anybody's seen him, just because I think most wandering people end up there. But good luck to all of you. And she makes her way out. very tentatively across the stones, but then more confidence as she goes.
As I'm reading this letter, this sounds like the smuggling that had been going on near the area.
Make it, well, it certainly, without any kind of check, it certainly
Right.
seems like it.
Yeah.
Now that the letter's being shown around, should we like read it so that
Yeah.
our viewers aren't
For those
like
of you at
completely
home.
mystified?
This letter, it says, Aunties, it is with greatest jubilation that I report that we are on schedule. Have your disciple meet the Javan on the 8th pier at Darkbriar, and Portina will pack your crates. Portina. Should any of the Amber Sworn question their purpose, surreptitiously reveal to them this ring that bears my signet, and you found no ring. When this hateful world is fractured, you will have your peace. Keep mine safe. I will return for it. And it is signed E.A.
And fractured is capitalized.
Yes.
This seems related to what we're investigating.
Well,
I only said we were doing a side quest for how many times?
Well, maybe
Can we
this
get back to
is.
that main quest now?
Well, I think it's all. I think the side quest has become the main quest.
Well, yeah, because now we're done with the side quest, so it's back to the main quest now.
I mean, it was on the way, and look how cool I look.
Are those instruments safe to take?
I think so.
You can see Finn is just trying to look at the note as you were doing all of this.
It's not for you.
Are any of them happen to be flutes?
Yeah, 2 of them are flutes.
I like to take some of the instruments.
Yeah, sure.
What do we?
There's 6 instruments, and so
Okay.
they're all woodwinds. I only have 2 of them marked as flutes, but they are very a haphazard collection of instruments. They're not fancy in any way, and so they can kind of be whatever you want. They could be oboes, they could be clarinets. That's all I know. That's all the instruments as far as I'm concerned.
Is there a saxophone?
Saxophones would be dwarvish, actually, and yeah, they haven't been invented, strictly speaking, yet.
There's no
Is there
percussion
a
instruments.
sousaphone?
No, not here.
Okay,
Um,
I'll take clarinet.
Mink is gonna hold on to the 2 flutes. And
Okay.
just be like, when Ori materializes back onto this plane, let's see if he'll accept a replacement fruit.
He's gone hag hunting on the ethereal.
Are we?
If we're gonna head out, just a reminder that we have that cool carriage. It's in my ring, and I can go in and bring it out once we're clear of the forest.
We should find Okramain and let him know we're done. I just realized.
Right?
I don't know.
He had that rabbit with the Harangon with him. Yeah.
Do you remember Harangon, Finn?
Not me. No.
Finn kind of snaps out of looking at this letter and just goes, "A heron gun? Not for a while."
Oh, did that dwarf, whatever that is, look like the dwarf you mentioned?
Nah. He was a lot older than that.
Does the Javon mean anything to me?
Do you speak Draconic?
No.
Nope.
Okay. I mean,
What was the name of the ship that was in the middle of the 3 planes? Because that had Draconic writing on it.
It did.
We did read it eventually.
Did you want to look?
Yeah.
It wasn't the Javon though, right?
No.
Okay, that was my main thing. Didn't
I know Cheshire
Giants
translated
mention
it.
that they were building ships?
They did. That's a good point.
The hags and the dragons are working together.
Does anyone know how we can get a message to Okramain so that we can continue on our
That ship
way?
was called the Witchbane.
I can send Rez.
Oh,
Hey, Rez.
Yeah.
Are you up for going to find Okramain? The woods aren't spooky anymore. They're just wet.
I mean, I want to be clear with you, Alina. I never thought they were spooky.
No, obviously. I meant I'm not scared
Oh, good,
anymore.
good.
I'm not
Like
super
I was
scared.
super scared.
I'm
but
proud of you,
obviously
Alina. You're
weren't.
really you're coming up in the world. All right, yeah. I'll find Okerman. Give me a
So go
second.
find Okramain and just,
let him know what happened. Tell him how awesome you did in the battle.
Yeah.
And then, once you're talking to him, just let me know and we can just make sure that everyone's, on the same page.
Okay, are we gonna go to him or is he gonna come to us or like what?
Well,
do
I
tell
don't
him?
really know. So if you go find him, then we can figure it out, right?
Okay, yeah. I'll be right back.
Okay, bye.
Big leathery wings
Wait.
carry him away.
Once Rez is with Oakermane, we can speak with him.
Ah.
Because I can do the thing.
And there'll be
thing, yeah.
tapping and like it's the whole thing.
Yeah, and it's better than all of us trekking to go find him because we're not even positive where
Suddenly in your mind, Alina, you hear, whoa, Alina, I'm real good at my job, okay? I got you an Oakermane right out here. And Valis,
right
though
outside.
you saw nothing coming, with your roll of a 2, you failed to watch Oakermane, who is not very good at stealth, although
Incredible.
still rolled a 14 on a stealth check as he approached up this hillside.
Oh my god.
Nothing is coming. We're
The
fine.
bright yellow, the bright orange, not visible to you.
Oh my god, Rez, that's amazing. Do you want to treat yourself to a piece of chocolate?
I mean, yeah.
Because I have some, but we're trying to ration it, but I feel like this
Suddenly,
okay, here you go.
he just apparates right
Yeah.
near you. He's not invisible anymore, and he just all over his face. You see the chocolate like disappear, become liquid, and then just
What's Finn's reaction to that?
horrified. You look over, and he's just like,
There's just an
Oh,
imp
he's-
that appears. It's like,
Finn, that's with us as well.
Oh yeah, Finn, Rez, why don't you,
"You're not from like Phlegathos or anything." And Rez goes, No, I'm not weak like that. I'm from deep down. Don't worry about that. And you can see, doesn't reassure Finn at all.
but we're bound to each other, so don't worry. Everything's
Okay.
fine.
That's okay.
Look, I follow Sir Nunos. You've probably heard of him. And Sir Nunos has given me
where you do now.
like a lot of amazing powers, and one of them is to be able to work together with someone like Rez. And Alina is avoiding wording like he's bound to me or like he's my
Yeah, sure,
familiar,
sure.
super carefully.
And Finn says, "Oh, so like a familiar."
And then Alina's just like, I'll tell you so much more about Sir Nunos later once we're out of here, okay?
Okay, yeah, sure.
Get ready, get excited.
I mean, I'm a fan of power, so yeah, let's do it.
So Rez says that Oakermane's like right outside.
We
Like
should,
right outside, like
let's
he
go
came
outside.
to us.
we should get going.
Is there anything else in here that we need to do?
Billy finishes sawing off the head of the other hag.
Okay. You rip it off.
Alina offers the bag of holding. Do you want to keep it?
No, I'm just making it hard to find the body bits.
Oh, okay.
You make your way down now?
Billy carries out the 2 heads and goes
Okay.
outside and like throws one direction in the wood and throws the other in another direction.
We have so many spells.
As I pass by
I'm out.
the monk, I'm just gonna just kneel down and do a quick
Actually, wait,
quick
am I
prayer.
out?
Okay. You do that.
Is the
Roll-
Dragonborn still there?
No, interestingly, nobody's asked, but no, it seemed to be gone. And his chair, his brand new chair, is also gone. Yes.
Good for him.
I'm glad he took the chair. Since we're not in combat and action economy means nothing outside of combat, is it possible to use Hellish Rebuke because they injured me emotionally to like...
Roll
can,
a
Emotional
on.
damage.
I green flame blade the heads enough to make them be fired to dust?
Yeah, no problem. So you cantrip this blade, and it's not that you elegantly set it on fire or burn them down, as much as it is when you slash something enough with green flame blade, technically it is a burnt pile now.
Billy creates a burnt pile. There.
You do that, and I mean, you do this all in plain view of Oakermane, who is in fact only about 10 feet away from the tower, peering and trying to find like a window through which to look at you guys on the second floor. But looking down at all of you, he immediately gestures and goes, "You've survived! Wonderful! I didn't doubt it for a second, but I am surprised that all of you made it.
Oakermane, where's the Heron gone?
He's home now."
Insight, no.
Make an insight check.
Where?
I would
Insight
also like
check.
to make an
Make
insight
an
check.
insight.
I would
Billy
like to
looks
just
up and is just
ask,
like, is he free of the hags too?
17.
17.
Where
I got
is home?
Single digits.
It's in the woods, of course.
Did he seem? Oh yeah, your question.
Billy just asked if he was free of the hags.
He is.
But like in a dead way.
I don't know. I threw him a great distance and did not check.
Okay. Great work, bud.
Billy is pleased with this answer.
He nods and he says, "Did you know that large hole was not so large? Easy to cross after a bit."
Yeah. Can Alina one exposition later
Yeah.
to Okerman? Okay.
Ah, it was an illusion. Indeed, that makes sense.
But she tells him about what happened here as
Sure,
well.
no problem. And he nods and just says,
You've done a great service to the woods. We will hold our end of the bargain, and I will escort you through the rest of Candlewood. The Candlestick Forest, rather. Where is it that you're going?
Well,
Darkbriar.
I cannot walk you that far, for I know not where that is, but I will bring you to the edge of the woods.
The western edge, I think, right? West, please.
Very well.
Yeah, like the northwesterly section, because you need to go up and around the lake.
Northwest. Splendid. I think there is a place that you would all really like to see. But are you ready?
Sure.
Then we're off!
and he stands up and like gets going and just with huge steps begins to move.
On the way.
Should we rest for a second?
Finn kind of ducks out from the doorway and goes, he's cool too.
Oh, he's cool. Yeah.
He's the
Takes a full
coolest.
step out.
We
He-
should go outside the forest.
They
and
sent him to
rest.
help us
Oh,
kill
okay.
hags.
Okay. Hey, how long is it gonna take us to get to the edge of the forest?
Okerman like stops and
We're like,
back down to catch up with you. And he says,
Well, it should take us no longer than a day or two, but you are all quite small, and I must take that into account.
Okay.
Will you need to rest?
Well, at some point, yeah.
we're all still like heavily bleeding.
yeah. And also, I mean, you guys, your last long rest was a while ago.
Yeah.
You're coming up probably in about 2 or 3 hours to the point where you're going to start checking for exhaustion.
Maybe
has-
long rest when we need to check for exhaustion.
Sure. So, like, get into the forest a bit, make some headway, and then rest, make camp.
Can you ask Okermane if he knows anything about curses?
Can you ask Okerman?
I do not know Sylvan.
Oh my god, that's right. Ori is still cursed.
Good
I
question.
am the only person in this party who did not take Sylvan
Oh my
during
God,
the fairy
I
campaign.
keep forgetting. I keep forgetting. Well, that's
Because
here.
my answer to that question might change.
So you imagine
I do
that
love
the
to imagine.
conclusion of your next long rest, as you have defeated the Coven of Unrest, you will all level up.
I survived!
No. Hey, do you get any cool new abilities, Vincent, when you level up? Anyway, sorry.
And
Let me think about that, and see if I can. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were asking my character.
No, that was just me being an asshole on stream.
Oh. To your question, when you asked about the curses, I think I might be able to help with that. I need to.
Good. Because Ori
To think.
is... Minka's gonna look around and see if Ori's like immediately next to her and goes, Ori's a little fragile right now.
But he
and-
did give us a wheel.
True.
And I also think he might be cursed.
unrelated to the curse, I guess. That's good.
The man isn't here. He's hiding.
I would say Okerman to all of this says,
Well, this lends up splendidly. The place that I would like to show you should be a good place to rest, and you can see the stars. But I must ask, do not tell Jacaranda that I show you this place. She does not know, and she is mean sometimes.
Right.
Secret safe then.
he nods. This is the first time you've seen any kind of uncertainty from Okerman. But
Agreeing with
he shakes
Billy.
his head and just goes,
Then we are off.
And he
Oh,
makes his way through.
I'll ask for the map, and I'll like show it to Finn. Like, all right, we're here. We're gonna like head this way. So, and where do you want us to like kind of drop you off?
I'm trying to get to like a port would be really good. I'm trying to get a ship. And I mean, are you guys trying to make money? Like you killed hags?
We kind of have a job.
Billy squints at him. Does he have a job?
Make an insight check. He smiles at you.
Oh, I might have a job for you.
21.
But I was offering you a job. With a 21, you squint, and you look at this guy. He's wearing leather armor. He is wearing pants that tuck into his boots, which you notice are absolutely waterproofed and seem to show signs of like salt that have seeped into them. This guy looks a lot like a pirate. A lot like a pirate, but there's something about him that doesn't, I mean, he doesn't seem like a bad guy necessarily. But pirate.
Badass guy. Wait.
Where do you need to find this ship?
I mean, in an ocean preferably, but most rivers get there. And so, you know, that would work too, I guess.
So, okay. Do you want to go to a port? Do you want to go
if
to
I tell
a
you where I'm
river?
really trying to go, you're not going to believe me. And so I am just going to go ahead and stop you right there.
Try it.
But I'm trying... Make a persuasion check.
Can I help?
Make a persuasion check at advantage. How are you helping?
Yeah, we would like to know. I would like to say that. That is my help.
Valis's help made me roll a 5.
That tracks.
But I rolled an 18, which gets me a 28.
That's so appropriate. With a 28, he says, all right, I guess because you guys don't even have stars here, but above everything else, above Alberon, above even like the moon, there's this ocean, and it's bigger than any ocean that's on Alberon. And I think, from what I've heard and from what I've been told, across there's a place that's called the Glimmering Oasis, and there's somebody that I need to find.
We would.
What's this person's name?
Morwen?
You're looking for a ship. Are you looking for a specific ship?
It's my ship, the Raging Harmony.
Okay, so not the Cat's Claw.
I don't know what that is.
It's from earlier in campaign 1.
Also, that wasn't...
Matt is getting caught up.
So, do you know someone...
You have just an amazing poker face.
Do you know someone named Sade? No.
It's not really ringing a bell, sorry.
Okay, that's good.
Why?
No reason.
Are you guys in trouble too?
Yes.
I mean, in trouble?
Yes.
Well,
With her
in a
specifically.
similar situation as, and
Well,
I say that
he's
pirate
not.
name you said earlier.
I am. Specifically with Sade.
Oh,
You are.
We
are.
just want to take you where you're going and don't want to meet up with that person. So if you were going to meet that person, that would really suck for us.
well, I don't know him, so I don't think I'm meeting him.
That's fantastic. We'll
All right.
take you where you want to go.
Great.
Then you can leave.
How are we getting into the stars?
Oh, no,
Oh.
we're not taking you that
Oh.
far. We're taking you to get to a boat.
Ah, okay. That
Yeah, we
makes
can
more
do that.
sense. I should have kind of understood that.
I can channel stars, but I can't do the other way.
What?
Oh, yeah, she gets glowy, and then we sometimes have like a cool backlight thing going on. It does make it hard to see sometimes, but it is really a cool effect.
I'm
Yeah,
a fan of ambience.
cinematically, it's worth it.
It also feels like rejuvenating sometimes. Like you look at it, it feels good.
I mean, okay. That's strange. I appreciate any help. I guess I'm not a dog anymore, so that's good. He just kind of nods. That's a lot to take in.
Yeah.
Lots happened for him today.
Finn, can I get your take on something?
Yeah.
If someone theoretically loses an item, the bottom of the ocean in a seamount, how would you suggest one retrieve it? It's a serious one. I just stare at him.
Poker face.
You know, I think probably I would
Not me.
tell this person that there's a lot of great craftsmen in Everest, and I've found people that can really pretty much remake anything that they want. There's actually a guy over on the East Coast who can make magical items too. Warren, something like that. But yeah, they're probably not going to get that back. Did you lose something?
One of us did.
Yeah, that's gone.
Okay.
Sorry.
Do I know who Warren is?
You've heard of Waroon, who is probably who this guy is referencing.
Oh, is that the guy who?
Yes.
With the ball. Okay.
That's the guy with the stuff.
The stuff.
He's making stuff
And
for
the
us.
thing.
He's making stuff, yeah.
I can't wait.
I feel so long ago.
So you walk.
I'm reeling from remembering who Finn Mud is.
Tori lost something?
Tired. To the point where if you want to keep going, you'll probably need to make a check. At this, Okerman says,
We're close. Just 1 hour further, and we can make it to the clearing.
What's the clearing?
Can you carry some of us?
I can carry all of you, but maybe only 2 for now.
Okay, well, I mean, I can go in my ring.
bends down and just picks up Cheshire.
Okay.
I'll keep walking.
Okay.
I can walk.
I'll go into. I can go into my ring, but Billy, are you gonna be okay?
I wanna...
Very well, small one.
He just wraps a hand around you.
Or
and
he
then
probably should
lifts
be
you up.
get to ride, right?
You
I
hear
mean-
from off in the distance, I'm all right.
Okay, buddy. Okay.
That was a really good impression.
All right. So Alina's gonna vamp into her ring, and the usual. She
Okay.
turns it to.
You bamf.
Yeah.
Billy Bamps, but in a different way.
So, Valis, Minka, Cheshire, and Billy, all of you make exhaustion checks.
What's an exhaustion check again?
This is a constitution saving throw.
All right. Everyone gets +3.
Ooh, for once I don't need it.
18.
For once. I don't think I had anything, do I? No, I had a 3. I forgot I'm constitute. It's a 21.
You got constitution.
Long
happening.
rest. Yeah. It might just make the rest not as
10.
tactful.
Okay.
Yeah, restful.
That's right.
23.
Nice.
Charisma constitution on this character.
You walk, and Valis, you feel pretty rough towards the end of this. However, pushing on, and with Okermane's help, and carrying with you not 1 but like 3 extra companions or something like that at this point, I'm losing the track. You don't find a whole lot of opposition within the woods, and as you're walking towards the end of this, and you do see a clearing in the distance, and it is a very peculiar looking clearing because, Minka, for you, you see the same glow that you emit, kind of very softly shining down in this halo around, and in the clearing itself, for the very first time since you were in the ocean, you can actually see Starlight, just a little bit off in the distance. But because it is 8:30, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll come back to this clearing. Thank you for sticking with us so far for this session of Adventures in Oberon. We'll be back in 10 minutes. And howdy, folks. Welcome back to Courts of Everest, our original D&D campaign. I'm going to shift the music over here. Okay. So in front of you, you can see there is a clearing. You can see it through the trees, which have become progressively less and less thick. And so you're in a forest still. You can still see like woods kind of all around you, but much larger spaces until you get to this clearing. And Minka, you see starlight just shining down. One of the very few places on this continent where there is a gap, it would seem, within the astral eclipse. You can see in front of you there is kind of a wedge of stone. There are elements of trees that grow around this space, and there are some flowers and things like that that grow in here, but very much a clearing as Okermane described. And Okermane stops and for a moment just pauses, for the first time kind of like almost anxious at the edge of this place, but he turns and again he says,
Listen, Jacaranda is not supposed to... Nobody should know of this place. Only Jacaranda knows, and those of us who have wandered too far. It is a secret.
We won't tell, but why is it so secret?
he looks around. Make a persuasion check.
Yes. 26.
I will tell
Charisma.
you. But come. You all must make camp, and that is a good time to tell a story.
He crosses into this place. And as he crosses, you see the leaves go from this like orange. They all along the little veins and stuff pick up the starlight as almost like little liquid elements of silver that run through. And as he steps into it, he just becomes this like shimmering tree. Doesn't seem to notice and just kind of keeps walking. But for the rest of you, you can enter into this clearing. And it's surrounded by trees and stone, and so this is like this one little protected place. There is still fog here. It's like natural fog, but it does provide a little bit of protection from everything else that's around you.
I think it's just gonna immediately, like, definitely not running, but basically running into the clearing and just look up.
So, you look up, and you look up into a field of stars. And just like your dreams, the longer that you stare, the more that you see. And it's almost dizzying because you can see first constellations that you recognize from that temple, from other things that you've seen. And then there are so many that you almost lose track of them in the ocean that's above you. And that sticks with you, actually. Ocean. Finn, looking up also, you kind of look over, had mentioned that this is an ocean of stars. Something that could actually be physically crossed, apparently. And that's an interesting concept. But in this moment, you're kind of transfixed. And is there anything that you're looking for?
After just like picking out like any constellations that she can recognize, she's mostly just gonna like let her eyes just like unfocus and try to like see all of it at once.
Okay.
But you know, probably gonna end up just laying down on the ground and just staring up at the sky.
You do. You lay down for a little bit, and as the sounds of your various adventuring companions and other folks make their way to like set up camp and kind of secure this site, you stare up, and that all dies down around you. And this is a really beautiful place. For you who are used to being in caves or kind of peering out across what is just another valley underneath this kind of ever-going eclipse, this is something that is really, really beautiful. And unlike the hags or the illusions or being underground or those cloakers, any of these things that have been absolutely horrible for just a second, it feels almost worth it. But that's it. For the rest of you, is there anything that you're doing to set up camp?
As we are puttering around, Alina is going to kind of ask around to see if anybody has sewing materials. Anybody got sewing materials? Anyone? Needle and thread?
You can see Finn just goes, sorry.
Anything in my thieves kit that can be...
Can I like
Not
jury rig something from something?
Yeah, no problem.
It's for flavor, Joe.
yeah, for flavor, you can definitely do that.
Okay. So she's gonna like gather up those materials while we're working on setting up.
Anybody else?
I'm gonna approach Billy.
Okay.
Billy,
Yeah.
this note.
Mm-hmm.
It mentions fractured.
Mm-hmm.
I know that you don't have trust for Hearsome, but I think that he should know the contents of this note. But given the situation, I just want to make sure you want to get. I want to get your approval of that.
You're gonna do it whether or not I approve, though, right?
No.
Billy kind of like stares at you for a little bit.
I do believe that Hearsome's. I know that you don't. The group doesn't fully trust Hearsome, but I do believe in two things. That his priority is protecting the realm. The fracturing endangers the realm, and we are his tools, for better or for worse. And considering where we got this note, I know that it probably has a lot of ties to you and your auntie, so I just wanted to get your permission to relay this message to Hearsome.
Bristles a little bit at the your aunties thing. I don't want to bring it to him just with the note. We need more.
Okay.
Ideally, that ring with a finger attached would be a good touch.
Okay. Even if he may have resources to help us get this ring?
Well, we'll be in the area.
As Alina's gathering her stuff, she's gonna add, it doesn't hurt to just give it a little more time, especially because, I feel like Ori hasn't had a chance to look at this yet because he's not feeling too good, but maybe tomorrow he'll be able to look at it and maybe he'll know something about it. Is the note handwritten?
Yes.
Okay.
And you glance over, Ori passed out, asleep. Yeah. And this curse doesn't seem to prevent sleeping.
Yeah. So it just won't hurt to...
Yeah. Oh no, he trance.
Oh.
It's a fitful trance.
It doesn't hurt to wait at least until tomorrow so that everybody we know can lay eyes on it and we can make sure that we are using the resources that we have. Then we can decide.
Okay.
Minka. Ogremane just slumps down next to you and sits really hard. It kind of rumbles the whole ground, and that does shake you from your peaceful reverie for a second. But Ogremane just kind of stretches up and just says, "They're beautiful, aren't they? In a time of mighty trees and monstrous beasts the size of which you could not imagine, stars like this covered all of Everest,
Before the astral eclipse.
Yes. They guided us, and they whispered to us, and they reminded us at night that we were not alone. And for a treant, to be in the dark is a very scary thing. Not having light means death to us." He nods.
I can imagine.
He turns and kind of looks at the rest of you guys going about your various tasks, and he says, "Would you like to know about this place now, heroes?"
Yes.
He nods.
Point of order before he starts. While he's telling the story, Alina is going to be working on sewing her Thornholm cloak into as a lining.
I got you.
To the Can this be the start of a tuning, or does she have to wait until she's not
this is part of the start of the tuning.
Okay, so the attuning is good. She's going to work on that for an hour, and then she'll be attuned.
And that's part of the process of learning about this garment and kind of becoming accustomed to the way that it feels and the way that it wears and works, for sure.
Thank you.
So you start that process. Ogremane says, "Everest has been without any great darkness because of heroes like us. We rise to quell it when it comes, but it was not always so.
Many dark beings tried to strangle the light from Everest's throat as it gasped its first breaths, but one by one they were defeated, and those who lived were sealed away deep within the Onyx Spire. Where the Emerald Spire holds the Treaty Chamber, the Onyx Spire holds the Crux of Contempt.
Okerman says,
Even those too fierce to die were trapped. But there was one who could not be. One so powerful that they threatened to overthrow the balance of power on Everest and tear apart the fabric that holds us and the Feywild at odds. And nothing could stop them. Were it not for Hearsome and the first Justicars.
he points, and at least one of you has the badge visible, I would imagine.
Oh, Valis does.
So he,
Always.
he points at the badge,
and is
he
confused
says,
why no one else wears it.
Keeps it like in her pocket.
I think Link at this point has had it affixed to like her shoulder, holding on some of her fabric together.
They stood toe to toe with a god, and as only an archfey might, Hearsome bound this creature in a pact so strong they were banished from this world for so long as they could not behold their place in it, here on Everest. So powerful were they that not even a demiplane could hold them, as with the wrought-winged angel or the titan of ageless echoes. And so the divine court, who had failed to stop them in the first place, took it upon themselves to form the astral eclipse, to hide us from their watchful eye. A shame.
he kind of shakes his head.
The crux of contempt was crafted by the greatest artificer of their age, with guardians built into it to protect from those who might overthrow. Escape was next to impossible. For a long time, dangerous people were held there, and that is why we have no stars. But Jacaranda,
And he looks up and he says,
somewhere beneath that bark there is a heart, and she misses the stars as well.
and he like just looks up. And for a while he's quiet. Is there anything that any of you are doing now?
In relation to the
Just in general? He gets kind of quiet, looking up and kind of like lost in that.
during the tale, Billy would have been like sharpening her sword and like observing the shift
Okay.
in the.
Yeah, for sure. And here, with the moonlight kind of being able to like fully on this blade, it glows. And not just glows, it sheds actual light that luminesces from the blade. Quite bright.
Billy's seen this before, right?
Yeah.
Has Alina seen it?
I don't think so.
Oh, Billy. Dope.
Yeah, it happens every now and then. I don't know why.
Do you bathe? Oh, I'm looking at the shiny sword. I also like swords. Oh. You don't know why it happens?
No, it just does sometimes.
Does it happen? Do you hang out in Starlight a lot?
No.
Billy, you're like, is this a weird pickup line?
Do you come here often? Could it? Sorry, that was a confusing way to ask that question. Could it be from the Starlight?
Billy like kind of throws the edge of a cloak over it just to kind of see if it changes.
Cast a shadow over it.
Don't you want to know? Maybe there's a way to find out.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it, and there's only so much thinking you can do. You just like think to a sword, why are you doing this thing? And it doesn't talk back to you. Not everyone's got a voice in a necklace.
I meant, like, ask.
At
someone
that,
who
Finn
knows
now kind of
such
looks around and goes,
things.
whoa, 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 somebody has a voice on a necklace?
Don't worry about it.
I'm like kind of worried about that though. That's not normal.
No.
I mean, it's not normal, I guess.
Killing hags isn't normal, but we manage.
That I don't see how that's related.
Really thinks about how she didn't actually kill a hag.
Pointedly, you did not.
So,
Really just beheaded corpses.
Okermine, have you ever heard about the stars giving someone dreams?
The stars giving dreams. I've never heard of that, but it is possible. There are those that say that the stars are really a civilization beyond, lost in space. But I do not believe that. Maybe there is some more magical meaning to them, but I do not know what it is. Why?
Oh, because I've had this dream before. Well,
What dream?
being able to see the stars, but not from here, from somewhere else, where normally there's the eclipse. And then I had another dream where I saw a bunch of places that I think if I go there, I get to see the stars again. I don't think this one was part of it, though.
He thinks for a second.
That is unusual. But no, I have never heard of the stars giving someone dreams.
So you all begin to rest.
I think at some point, with Cheshire just continuously humming the same bars over and over and over, Billy just says, "Okay, like another one, anything. It's the same song.
It's stuck in my head. I can't get it to go away.
What is it? Has Billy hasn't heard it before. Billy's made a check. Billy hasn't heard it before.
Yeah. Well,
Can you
I mean, now that there's another verse, can those of us who have tried to identify it before make another check?
Could you sing it instead of humming it? I'd love to hear it.
Sets and darkness does fall. Watches and waits for his children to call. And though he was tricked and trapped in a spell, once he's set free, he'll save us himself. Father, Father, skip across the stone. Father, Father, come along home. You can quack, you can skip, you can jump, you can crawl. The father must come when the mother does call.
Whoa.
That's kind of catchy.
Did you write this song?
No.
Billy gets goosebumps. That's really creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's stuck in my head. I can't get it to go away.
Why do you think? Is it
Where
like
did
from
it
your
come
childhood?
I don't know.
That's fucking nuts.
I know.
It's
Wait.
so creepy.
Okay, easy. Is it? I mean, like, that sounds like a child's song. Like, is it? Do you think you heard it when you were a child? Were you a child ever? What do you mean you don't know?
The dark one has been pretty, like, classically gendered as male, yes?
I mean, you tell me. What have you guys heard?
From our
That was
perspective, I think.
that was my
Yes.
question, was like, we've heard it being gendered as male.
Sure.
I'm gonna make me roll to see if that...
No, like, Hannah would agree with that. That, yeah.
That also means that Joe's very specifically not said anything.
No, I have. Make an intelligence check. Make
Hold on, I've got
an
my
insight
database
check. Make an
here.
insight check.
Database has been hunted before today. Dark
18.
18. You recognize that you've actually heard a variety. You've heard both, and you've heard gender neutral terms. The dark one, the twisted one. Yeah, I mean, you haven't specifically heard a gender in one way or another, and it's not, you haven't seen portrayals of the twisted one, and so as far as you know, I mean, it's kind of confused amongst the following.
Sorry, I laughed because I heard the toasted one. This is a very different campaign now.
Alina's gonna be like,
Just having a good time in there.
yeah. Cheshire, is your memory foggy like Valis's is?
Well, I don't know, because I'm not Alice.
That's true.
My memory's foggy? Oh.
Well, I'm kind
see
of
what you mean.
wondering if you don't remember being a child, you know, Valus's necklace, he can ask it about people or places. Maybe Valus could ask it about you. If you want him to.
That's also creepy. Or the song.
Have you
I
asked
I was
about
also
us?
gonna ask.
No, he hasn't.
Have you asked about it?
We don't know that.
Oh,
No.
It's a little weird that y'all asking the lady her age, like first of all, and then now you're asking your necklace about us.
I was asking you if you wanted him to. I wasn't.
No.
Finn at this point pipes up and goes, I'm pretty sure you were asking her age. That's kind of rude.
She doesn't remember being a child, sir.
I don't remember being a dog, and apparently all of you do, so...
Man's got a point.
Okay,
Ooh.
fine.
He's got it there.
Cheshire, I just want to help you be your best self, and I'm sorry that I'm not going about it the right way, and
Is there
just,
something wrong with me, Elena? You don't like me the way I am?
I love you the way you are, but
Why?
Alina, having fucked it up once again with Cheshire, goes and sulks and finishes sewing her cloak.
Okay, no problem.
Just once, Alina
do
just
so.
wants
Really, it's
to
just
be
like
friends
sitting
with Cheshire.
In the middle, it's like, wait, what happened?
I have no idea. I'm really. You'd think someone with as high a charisma score as me could have a better conversations.
Billy just like looks at Valus like.
Hey, so, your necklace is the one that talks then?
Yeah.
So he says.
That doesn't bother you?
I think he
I've
just
run
was
into a
real
lot of
spicy.
more things that bother me, but
Yeah.
it's magic.
Well, he,
Alina is in full sulk mode, like does
Yeah,
not see or hear that.
but he kind of nods a little bit, and yeah. He just kind of says, it's just almost always. From a professional in this business, when something talks to you, you're not supposed to really pick it up.
A continent away, a barbarian agrees.
If you pick it up, a dragon might explode.
And not in a good way.
He was so scary.
Really?
Yeah.
He really
Wow.
manipulated Brenna.
Have you ever heard of curses? Because that's really what you're talking
Oh
about.
yeah,
Always
Ori knows
cursed.
all about that.
There's some
Or is that-
sparkling arrows
Oh, the sleeping guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
That was
No,
also
tell me more about curses.
potentially
Yeah.
related.
When you pick up something and it talks to you, it's like possessed. Or I guess maybe
Oh, we know that already. It's what's his name? Javelus.
Javelus. I mean, okay, but whoever Javelus is, he could have other motivation. You might have somebody who's trying to make you do things. I mean, what does he want?
Hey, Javaris, are you a cursed item?
Pick up this, and he says, I've wondered that many times. Phallus, who is a friend? Curses are an interesting subject, and when you think about a curse, you could mean that in both a metaphor.
Did you just use legend lore on the word curse?
No, I did not.
Asked a
He's just
question.
He's just
talking
chatting with you.
to my boy Javaris.
Javaris is sometimes manipulative as to the usage of legend lores in order to talk more.
And he starts talking about really the curse of old age and the curse of having to be right so often. And
I
he talks about
curse.
the curse of
Oh
the
god.
burden of knowledge, and and so that's kind of what you get so far. Is there anything more specific that you're asking, as is legend lore, or are you just kind of?
Oh no, I'm just asking
Okay, yeah,
him,
no
and
worries.
I'm not using legend
Yeah,
lore.
yeah,
I just
yeah.
asked him,
No worries.
is he a cursed item?
Yeah, that's what you get.
Okay.
Do we never got a magnifying glass or anything, did we?
What do you mean? Magnifying glass? like a regular one?
Why?
I don't know.
Well, because we have the reason why I'm in trouble with Shade, and eventually we should probably do something with that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I want to ask if you wanted me to ask Javaris about that sometime.
I mean, we kind of know what it is. We
No,
just
take it out.
Hey guys, just so you
Nope.
remember, I'm here,
Hello.
and
No, you
I have
should look
no
away.
idea what you guys are talking about ever. So context would be really helpful.
I mean, that's kind of par for the course.
It's in the bag of holding, but Alina is not listening to you right now.
Billy
She's
goes
sulking.
over and it just like starts like digging through the bag.
Oh,
Hey,
I
Your
guess that's
stuff, my
answer.
stuff.
You
Our stuff.
go ahead. You're digging out the orb? Okay, no problem. You pull out this glass orb. Ting. It's bright.
Oh yeah, I forgot
Tiny
about
little
that.
etchings all over it.
Does it do anything?
So you're
Oh,
holding
right,
it up in the
Starlight.
starlight, and you can see very faint little shadows cast, but the writing's so minute. You imagine you need a strong light source to really utilize this in the way that it's meant to be used.
Billy gives it to Mika. It's like, you know more.
I mean, I can't glow and I can't read it right now. Oh. I mean, eventually we might be able to. I know it was in a
Billy, hold
language
your
that-
sword over it.
I don't know if that's bright enough.
Certainly not. But it is bright enough to kind of shed a little light, and you can see all the little glimmers on it. And Finn just goes, "Oh, a Zinni thing. What's that?" And he kind of looks over at it and peers and just goes, there's probably something in there.
I mean, we know that there's a lot of little text in there, but it's really small. That's why.
What language is it in?
It's probably in Zinni. It's a bunch of monks.
We can read it any time. It's just
We just need a magnifying glass.
small.
Because, well, at least we know that in direct starlight, nothing happens.
Billy is so ready for a project that's going to take her mind off of today.
Minka, maybe your folks have a looking glass that can help.
Would we? I mean, unless someone traded for one, because I don't think anyone can make glass right now. I mean, the last attempt at like a high heat furnace didn't really go too hot. Oh, too well.
That's a good one. Okay. Well, I mean, we'll keep keeping an eye out for it. Why don't you hold on to it?
I feel like that's irresponsible.
Says the most responsible member of our party.
But I think that's the responsibility showing through right there.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. What does that say about the rest of us?
Do you think they're gonna be okay though?
Your family?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean,
We'll be there soon.
And if they need help, we will help them.
Good thing we wasted a week.
they're pretty self-reliant. It's just a question of who's still there. I don't know who's still there right now. It's been... Minka's gonna think about how long it's been since she's been home. And just be like, oh, it's been several months.
But probably when your people heard about what happened, they would head there too, just like we're doing.
Oh, no. I don't think so. Unless it really disrupted the trade route. I am worried, though, if they're using the smuggling ring or like smuggling by the pier. We sometimes traded with them, or at least around there, but not.
Well,
I don't know. I don't know who's handling that right now.
well, if that letter is any indication, we'll be cleaning up a mess there by hook or by crook,
Yeah.
by paw or by claw.
Well, at the very least, when we get to Darkbriar, we should make sure that we do not get clocked by the Ambersworn, because that'll just make everything much harder, because they're kind of jerks.
Yeah,
You can see at that, Finn perks up a little bit and goes, whoa, 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 Ambersworn. I thought you guys were not really getting into any kind of trouble.
Mm-mm.
I'm really not looking forward to dealing with them.
No.
I mean, you don't have
I mean,
to.
they protect
You're
the
an
mines.
independent agent.
We don't want to interact with them, but they will be. They're just by the mines, so.
We've heard there's trouble in the mines, and we are planning to investigate, but you don't have to come with us that far.
Okay, yeah. I'm just trying to get to a port. You said something about a pier?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the one that's by Darkbriar, they have a bunch of ports, and you could probably get somewhere from there. I just don't know what the Ambersworn activity is going to be like, because of all the disruptions in the mines, they're probably going to be on high alert, which always makes trading around that area really touchy.
So I'll need a disguise. Okay. Kind of nods and begins to kind of sink back and think a little bit on that.
Billy
A disguise.
edges over to Valis and says, "You interested in this?" Holds up the sword.
Yeah, it'll have to be in the morning. I don't have.
He just like goes back to bed.
Right
back to her bedroll and just like, fine.
Yeah, no problem.
That bead is already spent on the necklace, but it'll be available again, I think, in the morning.
It's
Come back.
fine.
I don't
we-
really
we
understand
don't-
how they come back.
It's fine. We don't need to.
I go to sleep and then I wake up and then they're. I'm sorry. I go to trance. I wake up and then they're.
One time you had like used all of them, you went to sleep and you woke. You didn't like go to sleep at all. You just stared, and then you sneezed and they just came right out your nose.
That's how they come. You sneeze in your trance.
It's like the opposite of the spiders that are calling
We
them
all
out.
keep it a secret because it wakes us up because it's just a bunch of bees apparating.
But is anybody keeping watch? Okermane will definitely do so for the first part of this.
Billy desperately needs sleep.
I'm happy to take a watch shift. I forget, can you like attune and be on watch at the same time?
Yeah, attuning is just a matter of time.
Then Alina will take the first watch because she's busy anyway.
Okay, no problem.
I'll take the same watch as Finn if he takes watch. Is Finn taking watch?
He wasn't planning on it.
Okay, then I don't need to worry about that.
So, Alina, you are taking the first watch, and then Okermane will, I guess, was planning on taking the first watch, but will shift over to the second.
Minka will help with a watch. So whichever one makes more sense.
Okermane would say, I have easily enough perception to keep all of you safe. I believe that you should keep watch with your friend.
Okay.
Assuming 4 watches, probably. Usually, Aura and I kind of trance off. So
Yeah.
so I'll do like first and second, and he'll do third and fourth. So
Assuming he's in good enough shape to do that.
he'll be long resting. So then after that, he should be good.
You got to start on that long rest early, too, because you guys have been dicking around. He's just out.
Yeah.
So
Love dicking around, don't
Yeah.
we?
It's one of our favorite
We're
pastimes.
so
is.
good
So I'll
at
also
it.
do
Especially at
first and
rest.
second.
you can add that as a proficiency. Yeah. But you can begin your process of a long rest for the first watch. Alina and Minka, go ahead and make perception checks.
Not bad, not bad. 19 for Alina.
A 19.
19.
21.
No, she's awesome.
Okay.
She's really good at D&D.
Interestingly, Minka, so over the course of the evening, you do hear like animals off in the distance, normal sounds of a forest. There isn't anything especially strange. There are more moths here than normal, and so you do see a few more of those, and they catch your eye. There are bright pink and yellow ones. You can see many that are a more mundane kind of wood shade color, but you don't really notice anything else. With a 19, though, Alina, you don't notice anything perception-wise, but you have a feeling.
A bad feeling about this.
Not a bad feeling. You know, there's almost a bit of excitement. But you're not yet attuned to this jacket.
I'm getting there.
The first watch goes by without issue. But Alina, you can't help but imagine that something just out of your perception occurred.
Doesn't it only take an hour to attune?
Double check.
Oh. Because I feel like that matters.
Yeah, it
A
does.
woo. A woo and horns.
There might be an a woo, it depends on what Joe learns.
A short rest. So,
I mean, Alina would do whatever manner of resting got her attuned, and
you
then
had,
like
you had said also that you had begun that process like right when you got there. So I would say roughly before this actually, you would be attuned to the sight.
hell yeah.
And so at about that time, you can see Minka like looking around and not really finding a whole lot. And then like kind of looking up at the stars and getting a little distracted in that way. But you still have a feeling. And you look out and there's something somewhere in the woods beyond. And it doesn't feel threatening. It feels like you need to find it.
Alina's gonna be like, Minka, will you be okay on your own for a minute? I feel like there's something out there. I just wanna go take a look.
Don't go too far.
I won't. And here, I'll leave Rez here so that
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll impose the same rule I impose on Ori. To be fair, if you're not back within 10 minutes, we will wake up everyone and try to find you.
Okay, but ask Raz before you do that, okay? Okay, Raz, do you mind staying here? Okay, good.
I mean, I don't know why you asked me if you're just gonna do that, but yeah,
Thank
okay,
you.
I guess I'll stay here.
Thank you. Love you.
You walk off.
And then off she goes.
With a 19 and being attuned to this jacket, you can perceive something that Minka cannot. Though Minka is keeping a more watchful eye, it is directed up. Yours is directed at something that you can barely see. In this little clearing that you have, there is an element of rock that kind of forms the sort of backstop where many of you are kind of camping along, I would imagine. It's like the most protected area. It's out of the wind. On the other side of this clearing, through the trees, you see what looks almost like a little bit of a shimmer. And it's not a glow. It's like a silvery shimmer, almost like what you see around the edge of the travel through plant spell. It looks like some kind of a magic that separates the membrane, and all at once you recognize, because you in Thornhome had seen very similar kind of things, although this is not open. This is roughly the outline of some kind of a portal. It is not open, and you're just seeing like the membrane that separates this from whatever lies beyond, but it's right there. And I would say, as you get a little bit closer, you feel your heart beat just a little faster. And it's not fear. This is the sweet kick of a little bit of adrenaline. You're excited.
Are my tattoos glowing?
As you step a little bit closer, your tattoos aren't glowing.
Okay.
But
Keep an eye on that.
you have to pause for a second. You turn because maybe Minka is saying something. And it's not Minka for just a second. And you can hear it still dying in the echoes. You hear horns. And looking at this, beyond this little shimmer, you imagine that interacting with this will cause it to open and something will come out. You're very excited. And given that, you imagine whatever's on the other side is at least a little bit dangerous. Your party's not in the best shape. They haven't completed a short rest. But this is so close. Would you like to see how close it is?
Yeah.
Would we like visual perspective?
How dare you?
I got one at a time. I'm going to take this guy off. I love this museum tack because of this.
Yeah, that's really good.
Oh, best stuff, Kara. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
I got a 6-pack of it, even though I'm still working off the first, because I'm worried that it will stop being made or something. I think the 6-pack will last us till like 2030 at this rate.
That's only gonna get us through campaign 6.
There's not campaign
Oh, is this the package that
Yeah.
that she made off with?
You expect that we won't die like 3 sessions into one of the campaigns.
That's well, no, I have a plan for that. You guys know that.
Yeah,
Yep.
but won't that necessitate us failing a campaign?
Yeah, but then that becomes
Is
that
it
campaign.
failing or is it
Succeeding in reverse.
doing? Is
Joe
it
has
just
said that
telling
if
a
our
different story?
Prematurely completing.
Joe has said that if our party dies,
Bad
we would
end.
fail the campaign. Joe, you
Yeah.
Oh, like get an
Yeah,
F
you know,
with
it's like the
D&D.
difference between like Let It
we
Zelda
would
the main
lose
line and
D&D.
the tune line is whether or
in the chat
not
for
Link
losing
failed
D&D.
In the chat.
defeating cancer.
GG.
We got 100% it.
QQ
Guys,
more.
I want to poke the portal.
I know you do. Alina got a Alina.
You know, gotta Alina.
You gotta
Selena got to port the portal.
do what moves you.
So
Just know. I don't know why I'm grabbing your phone. I'm
At
so
the
sorry.
start of the night was going to be when we were all danger of dying, but really, it's.
and so
it's
you'll
all
notice
Yeah.
there are these little will-o-wisps that are kind of lining. Those are just those glowing lights that you've been seeing.
We don't need this in the video.
Where am I?
Close.
Oh, we're good.
Would it be fair to say we
Where's
completed
the-
a short rest?
No. This is about 30 minutes in. So like really you cut it close. You almost missed this. This was very close. But here you are.
Where?
So all of you are kind of gathered into the central clearing. In my mind, most of you probably are up against the rock because that's the most protected
I
place. But you guys can place yourselves anywhere within that clearing. Okermane is with you. Finn is with you. And so, Kara, Okermane's behind you on the cabinet over there.
I also know doing a great wash right now.
If I get this close to getting the extra attack and then die.
I just look. I'll do my best.
Can you take
Okay.
this and place that right in that little space between the bushes. Right. You're so close. Between the bushes. Yeah, right there. That's fine.
Okay. Does it matter what side of it I'm on? I'm here. Okay. Oh no, I came from that way, so I would be over here.
Okermane for the campfire.
And to be clear, it's not quite that big. It's not quite that obvious.
Sorry, Okermane.
But you're seeing in roughly a space that big, a shimmer that is making the air just a little bit more obvious in that place. Almost like the heat wave that you see off of really hot pavement, but just a little bit more of a glow to it.
Did I gain the benefits of the short rest since I attuned to the thing and therefore had been
Alina was in the ring.
attuning for an hour? I was in the ring. I
were
didn't
in
say
the
I was
ring.
doing a short rest.
That's true.
Yeah, I should
So no, unfortunately.
What were you doing in the ring?
Not even so.
Jazzercise?
Attuning for an hour doesn't constitute a short rest.
Because you were like kind of walking and stuff, and so the
Yeah.
attunement is part of that.
Yeah, okay.
So unfortunately, I don't think anybody has gotten a short rest yet.
Okay.
It's all good.
So,
Maybe Ori, actually.
okay. So I'm super excited.
Not even Ori, actually. But yeah.
I hear the bang of horns and stuff.
Just for a moment, and now you don't. For what it's worth, you heard it for a moment,
Okay.
and then they're gone. And you still feel like there are drums in the ground. Like you could feel that, but it's receding for sure.
Lena is going to take a step forward and without touching it, like try to peer into the portal. Like, can she, like with careful looking, can she see anything on the other side?
Make a perception check. Make it a disadvantage as you are trying to peer between worlds.
I am. Yeah. Oh man. This perception.
Is that
14.
not a Norlock feature?
With a 14, not this particular kind actually, but you look. And you don't get too close because you imagine touching this will open it. And there's a part of you that really wants to. You don't see anything, but make an insight check.
Flat.
Yeah.
I never roll well on insight. 7.
That tracks.
For a long time, you have spoken about Sir Nunos. And you've spoken about how great this guy is, and recently you're not quite sure. But on some level, you've always wanted to, at the very least, be acknowledged by this individual. And for the first time, Alina, you might have a way to do that.
I'm so stressed out.
But your party's in rough shape.
I know. Okay, so Alina.
Make the character choice.
Yeah.
Do what your character
It's still, I think it's still a tough character choice.
It is, yeah,
It is.
because at the bare minimum, she doesn't want Billy to die.
Yeah, that's, I mean, that,
Yeah.
yeah, in my mind, that's what I was thinking.
So Alina is going
Billy
to
who knows?
say to Rez, hey, and it is what we see here. So she's literally like on the other side of the trees, right?
Yep.
Okay, so she's gonna say to Rez, hey, tell Minka that I'm super close to camp. I'm just on the other side of some trees, and I just need to think. So I'll keep keeping an eye out, but just tell her I'm fine and don't wake everybody up. I'm literally several feet away.
Okay.
Okay, thanks. And then she's
That's how you go ahead and say that.
Yep.
So he nods, and then Minka, you hear Rez just goes, from like invisibility, just goes, ooh, a little loud there. Minka, Alina says everything's fine. Don't worry about it. Just doing a little bit of thinking. Okay? Everything's just, you're cool.
tell her to not wake everybody up. That was really the core of that message.
Also,
unrelated to that. Just don't wake anybody up.
Insight check. Natural 20.
Three things become obvious to you all. One, something's fishy. Two, Rez isn't 100% sure what that is. So like he's not necessarily lying to you because he's not sure what's going on. And there's a part of him that wants you to know that. Like this is like layers deep. This is the most internal part of him wants somebody to check to make sure that Alina's okay. He knows that he's not supposed to. There's also a part of him that intuitively wants to because he is an imp. And so everything right now is fighting within him. And you just see him go, no, it's fine. But just to keep everybody asleep though. And that also is kind of weird.
Okay, so at that Minka gets up and starts walking in the direction that like Alina had gone, just to make sure, just like have eyes on her.
Okay. So yeah, you can walk across the clearing and peeking through the trees, you do see Alina just staring at the air.
At this point, Alina is seated on the ground, cross-legged. It probably looks like she's meditating. Yeah, just looking.
Okay.
Minka will give her a solid 10 minutes before interrupting.
Okay.
This is
Minka,
10 minutes later.
you spend 10 minutes and not a whole lot happens. Alina doesn't seem to change.
and Minka will be like, you doing okay, Alina?
What? You don't... I mean... Obviously not.
What?
There's some flowers that they're gesturing at.
Do you not see it?
I see some flowers and some trees. I'm guessing there's something I'm not seeing.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's Cernuno stuff.
Oh, well, that's exciting.
Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll be right back. I'll be back to the campsite in a second.
Okay, I just wanted,
No, 10 minutes.
Well, I mean, it's also that, like, we've been going through a lot of stuff, and a lot's happened very quickly. And I know that it takes some time to process some of this stuff. So if you ever want to talk about it, I'll listen. I can't promise I can impart any real wisdom, but I'll listen.
Well, who's your best stat?
I do try.
Thanks, Minka. Maybe not right now, but I'll take you up on it. I'm sure you're a better listener than Billy.
I will do my best to help.
Okay. I'll be back in a minute. Just give me a sec.
Okay. And then Minka will respect Alina's boundaries.
Okay.
So, Alina is going to head back, but before she does, she's going to stay seated and just, basically, say a little prayer, out loud, but low voice. And just be like, Cernunos, I want to serve you, and I can, and I'm going to prove it, but now's not the right time. Please forgive me. And then she's going to stand up and walk back to the camp.
Okay. You stand up and you walk back to the camp. As you kind of go over these trees, you have to kind of push them aside and move. And as you do, you turn and there's nothing there. And you can't help but feel like there was just on the other side. But you make your way back. And after a little bit longer, those of you trying to make a short rest do so, and the watch changes. The two of you go to bed. Valis, you're keeping the second watch, along with Ori.
No, we usually switch off.
Oh, gotcha. Well, Ori's watch is apparently on. Nothing happens.
And I kind of have cursed his eyeballs out.
His eyeballs
Alongside
are.
the rest of him.
His special eyes cannot save him.
Valis, when you take over from Ori, is there anything that you want to do over your there's a period of time where it's just you?
Do I see any animals around?
Make a perception check.
Quick chat.
It's cocked. Ooh, natural one. All animals are
one.
dead.
You look
So
around.
many animals.
What have I done?
You misidentify Rez as an animal.
Every now and then you see lots of signs of animals. You see like signs of squirrels. You see like little piles of acorns and things like that that would definitely indicate that they're around. You actually see tracks of larger animals, like perhaps a bear. But wherever they may have been, here is not where they are.
All right.
Yeah, you can barely even find like people. But you eventually make your way back to camp. Make a perception check, and this is for the watch.
Yeah, thank goodness that first one.
Got it out.
Yeah, right.
13.
It's better than a natural one. I'm so glad you had the natural one on finding a nut bear.
Okay.
Ah.
Your watch goes without issue. Yes. All of you can mark off a long rest, and you level up. Having defeated the Coven of Unrest within the Sleepless Cauldron, you have made a part of Everest much safer.
Hell
Perhaps.
yeah. Do the effects of harm disappear with a long rest?
Minka, they do.
I love you.
Ori, upon waking, for what it is worth, still very much cursed. And if Ori chooses to use hit dice, he would find that they are about half as effective as he would want them to be. All of you wake up, and in doing so, find yourselves not only a higher level, but now on the 30th of Summertide, the very last day of the month. It is Monday.
For breakfast, because she hasn't used the magic plate in a while, she's gonna be like, we deserve a nice meal. And so she's gonna imagine up like the most delicious, like varied breakfast she can come up with. Like she's trying to remember like what each person likes to eat, and just like just really tasty stuff for breakfast.
No problem. So yeah, you take out the little plate and you imagine the most delicious breakfast that you could. And as all of you kind of find your way awake, you do so to a beautiful clearing in a sunny day. And not just the astral expanse, truly like sun, and the smell of bacon and eggs and toast and all elements of the kind of like sweet pastries that you could want. It is a full breakfast. I mean, this is like your ideal brunch.
Oh my god, is that Core's sage sausages?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. Your favorite.
Good
Your
god.
favorite. I thought it might make you feel better. But Alina is still like, she's like not looking especially happy. She's munching on a scone like she hopes it'll improve her mood, but she's down.
Finn, very happy at all of this, scoops up a whole bunch of food. Okermane doesn't seem to partake of this kind of food, but soaks in the sun eagerly enough.
Does Billy see that with Billy's 14 insight?
I would say, yeah.
Billy just kind of like sits there munching on the sausage. And then just like kind of goes over and just like sits down. Want to talk about it?
I think I saw an opportunity to join the hunt last night, but I didn't join it because I didn't want everyone to die.
At that, from like taking in the sun, Okermane just goes,
The Wild Hunt? You had an opportunity to join the Wild Hunt and you did not take it? What a fool. I thought you were heroes. I thought you were adventurers. If I had such an opportunity, I would take it in a heartbeat. Many heroes spend many heroes spend their whole lives trying to obtain such an invitation.
I know. Thanks.
Billy
Unbelievable.
and he like stop for the first time. You haven't seen Okermane upset, but kind of stalks off to the edge of this clearing and pouts.
Billy awkwardly like
You can see Finn is just like, okay, and just eats the sausage.
am I doing it right?
Yeah, you are.
Oh, good.
Thanks, Billy.
Thanks for not killing all of us.
You're welcome.
When's it gonna come again? There's always hags. There's always gonna be portals.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
And if not, we just murder Sununos. Wait, what's that?
Alina does seem to look like she's feeling slightly better, yes.
Okay.
Does Bingo know what the Wild Hunt is?
Make a. Well, I would imagine Alina has probably told you.
all
So,
the time.
yeah, you've heard the Wild Hunt is this amazing thing where, like, it is the greatest possible event that has ever and will continue to occur. It is a hunt that goes throughout the plains and is really a gathering of the greatest heroes of this era that go with Cernunnos, who is the Lord of the Hunt, and they tackle the most dangerous things that exist, in the plains. And that is what you know from Alina. Make a Arcana or History check, your choice.
I mean, after all, if we go after
Or
the
religion
kills
check,
Sununos,
actually.
that's also like a hunt.
Religion might be
yeah.
more.
And it would
No,
be
they're all
wild.
the same.
I still feel
They're
like
all
there's
the
more to
same.
the story, but
Let's go
You're
with
right, that would be pretty
history.
wild.
And 19 somehow.
You have heard of the Wild Hunt, and not just as this thing of Cernunnos. It actually is something that there are other people that have spoken about this as well. And so this is not only something that just Alina is bringing up, as many things are. This is something that is almost certainly real. You haven't heard about too much of the specifics of it, but you have also heard that creatures unworthy of the Wild Hunt are simply banished before it, shot with arrows that send them to other places. And you're not really sure why, you don't know much beyond that, but perhaps what Alina was referencing was something like that. And perhaps that would be an opportunity to prove oneself and get a little bit closer to the actual hunt. Perhaps.
Alina talks about it like it would be like the apotheosis of her entire existence. Like it's all she wants, and like it's just if she could just get to that moment, like she could die happy.
This
That
is
kind
this
of
is
stuff.
enlightenment.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, it's nirvana
All
for
right.
sure, and that's how Alina talks about it when she proselytizes.
This is how she becomes a Valkyrie.
Yeah, Hondo P.
Okay. All right. Cool rock check.
Oh, I need another one to
Always.
see.
Always cool rock check.
18.
Never not
18.
cool rock check.
Do we think Billy would like understand the gravity of what Alina did? We'll have to talk about it.
You make a little search around as people are getting up and eating breakfast, and Oakermane stalks off, and you just have a little bit of time to look around. And there isn't a ton of like gemstones here. You don't find a lot of sign of like volcanic activity or the pressures that you would need to create something like that. But in the elements of stone behind you, as like Cheshire like rolls over and gets up and like goes over and gets some breakfast, Cheshire was sleeping on a rock that's a little different than the others. And as you pull it out, you recognize it is not like super valuable, but this is just kind of native copper that is just wound into the stone itself. And you have just this piece of ore, and it's pretty. It looks a little unremarkable in its current state, but with a little bit of work, there are some things that you could do with it for sure.
Okay. Gonna pocket this cool rock. Earmark it for later.
Okay.
Cool rock pocket. We're almost there.
So close. So you grab that. For the rest of you, is there anything that you want to do before you get going for the morning?
Billy, do you want me to ask Javaris about? I'll take that as a yes. Okay.
Billy still has a hand on it. She's not like letting it go.
Oh, okay. That's fine. Just I take her hand and I just kind of put it here in front of me, and I've noticed that sometimes it can go a lot quicker if I can convince him to give me the Cliff Notes version.
Oh. Well, tell him if
It's
he...
the notes that you would get if you were hanging from a cliff and you needed somebody to really quickly.
Yeah.
Not a sponsor.
Well, tell him if he's not quick about it, I'm gonna cut the string on the necklace. That's bardic inspiration for you.
Linka, could you provide a little bit of help?
Yes. Guidance.
All right.
Love this.
Legend lore, this sword. Hey, Javaris, what can you tell me about this?
Do you give him the name of the sword to use in Legend lore?
Oh, Billy just kind of like goes over and is like, "You're taller than Billy. It's Blood Moon's Relief."
Blood Moon's Relief.
Make your persuasion check.
And I will use guidance and the other thing, the inspiration. Good thing, because I did not roll well. Persuasion check?
Yeah.
But I am... Ooh, dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Ooh, close.
Wait, what was the DC?
Valis, there is so much I could tell you about this.
That is the DC.
So much I wish to tell you, but I will get to the point. Blood Moon's release is not necessarily something that I know about directly, but this was crafted on a full moon in a very particular forge. It is a valuable item, not powerful per se, but the hallmark of its owner, of its crafter. Second, let me pull this up here. Keep that on the lower here.
Blood Moon's release?
Relief.
Relief.
Yes. There was a smith by the name of Baltora Lunsunder, and they, under a full moon, were capable of crafting steel that had particular qualities that could react to different things, different environmental conditions, different stimuli. Are you familiar with static electricity, Valis? And he goes, but I'm getting away from the point. It is a forge that can be found far to the north, in Gath.
How do you use the swords to its fullest potential?
Well, one might hold it in their dominant hand, and keeping weight displaced across both legs evenly so as not to be displaced by an offhanded move. They can move forward by pushing off the back foot, and backwards by pushing off the front, and known in Derby as the Parry 2. I would start with that as a maneuver.
And he begins to go into the very basics of fencing, and you've kind of moved beyond Legend lore now.
I'm just now listening to
So
Javaris.
is it...
This is,
Is
not
it
a,
not a magic item? Is it just a valuable
it's
item?
magic. It's not like a legendary item, and so technically Legend lore wouldn't work on it. He's giving you more information about it. And you learn a little bit about its making, but it doesn't have a super powerful magical quality to it. It has a innate magic from the place that it was crafted. And Javaris would say,
This individual did help create very powerful weapons. This is not one of them, but valuable to a collector.
Okay. Once I am out of that conversation, I tell you all of that.
It looks a little disappointed, but yeah. It's nothing I didn't already know, I guess. I mean, I didn't know the part about who made it, which is kind of weird. I don't like that. It's too much coincidence. I don't like it.
There's
There's
been a whole lot of
in there.
coincidence today.
Also, particular forge feels like something Minka was talking about. I don't know anything about it. We talk about forges and sunders and fracturing, and it's all stringy.
That reminds me.
Really just gets a look on her face like, fuck.
That reminds me. I should call Hirsum and just let him know that we've acquired what we came here and that the Coven is no more. And then we're on our way to Darkbriar? Question mark, right? Yeah? Okay.
That sounds all like information I don't mind him having. Sure.
The runes on your rocky talkie glow, and very quickly they kind of pick up, and you hear some on the other end. And he says, Valis, good to hear from you.
Hello, Hearsome. How are you doing today?
Good, and you're still alive, which wonderful news. Have you vanquished the hags?
Yes, the Coven of Unrest is destroyed, and Alina has recovered the waistcoat of the
Nightmare Rider.
Nightmare Rider. Thank you.
Splendid. And so you intend to travel on to Darkbriar for Minka's thing.
Yeah.
Very well. Have you placed thought into what to do once you've done that?
No. I think our objective was to investigate the cave-ins to see if there's any malicious intent afoot. Beyond that, I do not think that we have a plan.
That does not surprise me. Have any of you thought on what sort of item you would like to acquire next? Oh, man.
Need to get down here.
I would like to acquire Mans, please.
Mr. Mans.
He's just
No, we haven't discussed that. Let us, do you want me to send you another message once we decided what we want to look for next?
Text me.
I would appreciate it if you had your conversation as a group first and then contacted me.
Okay. Understood.
In general. Each time. Goodbye.
Bye.
The rune goes down.
Bye.
Billy's like still standing right there. It's like, did that go well?
I realized we probably should have talked about what item we want to get next.
What is there? Did he give us a list?
Did
we get a list?
He did. Yeah,
He-
we have a list.
A sword.
I think he gave us a
bow.
list of
that
three
one.
things.
Sword. We want a sword. I want a sword. This sword is good. 2 swords is better.
It's twice as many.
I agree with that. I do like swords.
I agree with that math.
Sorry, Mika, did you?
No, I did realize that as we're going around, there's one of the places I had in my dreams was nearby. Well, not to where we are right now, but where we were traveling, which is also by Alina's home. So, eventually I would like to go see why I was dreaming about it. But I guess that doesn't directly answer your question. I have no opinion on what item we go on to next, but I do want to eventually see those places.
Josh?
Sure, you like stuff.
Yeah.
Is there any particular thing or stuff that you would like for Hearson to help find?
Or a thing that does things?
Are you sure?
Insight check.
We love stuff.
Cheshire does love stuff. Dirty
Such
20.
a fucking enigma. Every second that ticks by, I'm like, what is Cheshire? Who is Cheshire?
Dirty 20. Why doesn't Cheshire want to go get stuff?
Not necessarily that Cheshire doesn't want to get stuff. Cheshire doesn't trust Hearson.
Oh. She doesn't want stuff to get for her. Okay, well, if you think of anything.
Okay.
Finn just says, I like stuff.
That's
But,
nice. So maybe the sword then? Did he say where it is? I forget.
Underground?
Oh, Mr. Man.
Mr.
Hands.
Was that the one in the hand of the army? Might have been the bow.
I thought the sword was underground.
Wait, what?
Convenient. We're going underground. Let's go.
Again?
I need to like put little markers because this comes up so often.
Can we do like a memory check to see if we remember like where Hearson said it was?
Here's
I would
notes
just
on the
need
wrong-
something to search in my database. Give me 1 second to think.
Sword.
Yeah.
Cinderson.
There's been a few swords in this campaign.
Cinderson.
Cinderson. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
That's my husband.
Multiple swords.
He's so smart.
So, you had heard that Cinderson Sinterson and the Song of Dark Morning were the two things that you had heard about. You had also heard about the Bloodroot Brooch, although you had declined that and instead went on this mission.
Oh, because it was too hard to.
No, because it
Because-
was across the river. Sea,
Because we
and
would have needed
needed
a Sade.
We needed a Sade for that.
Oh
Yeah.
god.
And that-
And we had, and you had one or something at some point, right? And then you burned it.
You know,
something bridges.
something about the
We'll
bridges.
just
We'll burn that bridge when we get there.
yeah.
You almost certainly will. So you know that Sinterson is a sword made of a peculiar crystal, rumored to have been lost in the Black Vein Lode. And that, you would imagine, probably... actually, I believe you know where the Black Vein Lode is. That's very, very close to Darkbriar.
Yeah.
So that, very close to there. So if you're heading in that direction already, I mean, that would make sense. In which case, you probably want to ask Hearsome to look for something different in the meantime.
Because we are literally going to be within like 100 feet of it by accident. Because we were very good at D&D, guys. Okay.
Minka, do you want anything?
I have
don't-
something. And she just kind of holds up like the little sickle.
Ah.
I found what this is great. I mean, beyond that, I mean, the only other things that I really want to look at would be the places I was dreaming about, because I have a really strong feeling that if we go there, we might be able to learn more about what those dreams are about. And that's just great in general. And just would be nice because, you know, the more I think about it, the more I realize how strange it is to have a dream about the sky being ripped apart and revealing a thing that you didn't know existed before. Like, that's not a usual thing. And I would eventually like to get to the bottom of that.
Really?
Do you often have dreams about things you didn't know existed before? I know you see the strings.
Sometimes.
Do I ever have dreams of memories that I don't think I have? Or do I ever have dreams of memories?
There was one time. You remember sleeping in the caves with the kobolds on guard. You remembered smells. You remember the smell of almonds, and you remember a warm feeling and soft filtered light. And that's not stuff that you remember when you're awake. And when you were asleep, you knew that. But upon waking, it was like any other dream. You just can't quite grasp it. So perhaps it definitely feels that way.
I might know what you're talking about.
There's lots of things we don't know are there.
I don't know anything about specific items or anything, though. Because everything I can think of that we would need, we already are in the process of, or have, and just don't know what to do with them.
Sword it is then.
Yeah, I guess we don't really need Hearsome to do anything specific, unless he wants to.
Finn says, "Are you guys taking like ideas?"
No.
No. Okay. Well, you guys have the opportunity to get. All right. Fine.
Actually, I don't know. I could use a magic weapon. Sometimes I hit stuff with this sword, and it doesn't feel like it's enough.
There's a vein popping out in her head. I killed Tina, I'm sorry.
You say that, and Finn goes, so why don't you ask your rock about a sword, like something in particular? Like, I mean, what do you want your sword to do? It's the kitten.
Good question. I'll have to think about that.
Ooh, armor to prevent people from dying.
Ooh, yeah. We don't like dying. That's right.
I'm good on armor. She doesn't look
How is the new armor, by the way? It looks good on you.
Thanks. I mean, I can do a lot, I think, with it. And also, well, I mean, I hope it lets me have an opportunity to join the hunt again, but I might have, like, missed it, you know, so.
Elena, you looking right now at Valis see behind him a little. It's a squirrel, and it just out into the distance. Not a portal.
But I can cast heal now. That's pretty cool.
Ooh.
And this is really like it's hardier. Like it's got better protection and other stuff too that I can't remember right now. But I know I coded it in. It's really good.
Oh, wait.
I'm trying to think. Oh, and I can cast so many more spells per day now. Like I can feel it. I'm glad I have it. But and then Alina just kind of trails off, and she, you can tell she's still mulling over.
Coming back from the edge of the clearing is Okermane. He looks at you, Alina.
Are you all ready to go?
I think so.
We've had enough disappointment for today. Come.
And he kind of steps off and to the northwest.
Hey, Okermane?
Yes.
I didn't want my friends to die. That's heroism in and of itself.
He turns around and he bends down. Make a persuasion check.
24.
I apologize. Sometimes I forget for small creatures that if I don't want something to die, I just don't let it. But for you, that may not be an option. You're weak.
Well,
I
no,
will bear this in mind in the future.
But
you
I did.
tried your best and still you failed.
I didn't let.
He stands all the way up. And though you did persuade him, it doesn't feel like a win. He goes up and he seems a little happier.
Billy goes over and is like, I don't like him anymore.
Finn comes over and just goes, that's kind of mean.
So anyway, I have mixed feelings about my armor.
You begin to walk to the northwest. Who's leading the way aside from Okermane?
Cheshire followed it immediately.
Cheshire, make a perception check.
Does she like him more now that he's been really mean?
Yes. Giving Alina a little bit of a romance.
What? I was trying to be nice.
So he was pretty mean.
Oh.
I do have some.
Okay. With the 22, as you are walking and the rest of you sense sulking happening behind you. You want no part of that. You go ahead. And it's so funny because you go ahead like 10 feet and Okermane just going and like
I'm not sure what you mean, small one, but sure.
and he just seems like in a better mood now. Everything behind you, terrible. But you do notice with that check, as you are walking, after about an hour passes, the woods are beginning to become a little bit more visible. The mist is beginning to die away a little bit. And you do notice that there are a number of different shapes moving towards you. And as they solidify, still a couple 100 feet away, you have much better visibility now. You see donkeys. But because it is 10 o'clock, this is where we're going to end for the evening. So thank you for joining us for this session of Adventures in Oberon, Courts of Everest. We'll be back next week, but if you can't wait that long, on Sunday, we'll be re-airing this session preceded by Mosaic Team 5, our original Starfinder campaign. But please stay safe. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye.